this is going to be the best stage playoffs we've ever had in Overwatch League.
The NYXL, they want to finish this right now.
Vancouver Titans going back to the stage finals.
The spark will not be stopped.
Houston continues their tear through stage 3.
San Francisco Shock
Looking to repeat.
Dynasty. They make me look like a fool. And the Shanghai Dragons, they are going to the stage 3 playoffs. The Los Angeles Valiant are the first team to deliver a loss to the Vancouver Titans in the regular season. Welcome to the Overwatch League. Say goodnight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Blizzard Arena here in Los Angeles, California. We're going to get into the Stage 3 semifinals. Hex, this is what we've all been waiting for. And Josh Sideshow, you opened it up right there, that bumper at the start. The most competitive playoff bracket that we've had yet in the league. I don't think he's over-exaggerating.
It's been a great stage. We've seen a lot of different styles come out. The first stage, we had a lot of similar styles, but now these teams are forming their own identity. There's the bracket. That's how we got here. A little bit of an upset, an 8-1. The Dragons took down the Excelsior, who looked lost against their composition. The Titans steamrolled through the Outlaws, which wasn't a huge surprise. It was a little surprising how little defense that the Outlaws were able to put up against it. But I think if you looked at this bracket, you could have predicted it. You could have predicted any team in the quarters to come out. That's how competitive it's been.
I just had this image of the Houston Outlaws. They forgot their ammo belt. They showed up with their 6 shooters. And then nothing came out. And the Titans were like, bumpers just smashing with the hammer. That's essentially what happened. It was a brutal beatdown, and the Houston Outlaws couldn't quite hang. So the Titans are looking ship-shape, but the Shanghai Dragons, turns out they've got some bangs.
Yeah, I mean, both of these semifinals are really interesting because it's going to be a clash of styles, but the Shanghai style has been what they've been running a great deal of lately. They like running the Pharah almost exclusively, and then you've got a guy, world-class Widowmaker. DM on the Widow has been crushing as well. Gamsu has really stepped it up. He has to solo tank a lot of the time, so there's a lot of compelling micro matchups going in here, but Shanghai, I mean, that 3-1's even a little not telling. They dominated New York. New York looked lost.
New York did look lost in that match. It was a bit of a frustrating one.
So we talked about the clash of styles, and something has to give here today because the Titans with Sombra and D.Va versus Pharah, non-over 50% win rate. The Dragons with Pharah versus the Sombra D.Va also struggle. So both of these teams run a very specific style, and neither of these teams is good against the opposing style. So, I mean, someone's going to have to be above over 50% in a win rate at some point.
I was just hoping that you were going to sing it, Hex.
Something's got to give.
And yes, let's not waste any time at all. We're going to get into the match now. We'll bring our first team to the stage, the Shanghai Dragons. There we go. Hi, Shanghai Dragons in the semifinals of a stage playoffs, Hex.
Who would have believed it if you told me that last year? They weren't able to put any wins on the board in our inaugural Overwatch League season. An entirely different team in more ways than one now, and they are a frightening team because DPS, when they're on point, when everyone's hitting shots, when people are hitting rockets, there's almost no answer to it.
And it's so hard to play that style as well and make it work against the big beef, against the big, heavy... Go ahead.
No, I mean, and also if you prepare for even the Pharah, Youngjin busts out the Doomfist, and Vancouver's almost never played against the Doomfist. Youngjin could be the X factor here today.
So he's in the starting 6. I'm hoping we will see a bit of the Doom. Always exciting. The guys who are not hoping to see that are going to be the team making their way to the stage now, the Vancouver Titans.
It's been a tough stage for the Titans. They lost a match. Before that, though, undefeated except to the Shock in the playoffs. This has been one of the most dominant teams in all of Overwatch, dare I say Overwatch history at the professional level. No one's really playing up to their caliber. They're going to have all they can handle today in the sky against the unique style of the Shanghai Dragons. But Stitch, when he's on this team, they have like a 75% team fight win rate. It's been a small sample size, but oh, he's putting the fear of God in his opponents.
Absolutely, you can see it in his eyes right there. They're burning bright, Hex. He's looking for damage, he's looking for kills, and that's exactly what he delivers. He has definitely made an impact for the Vancouver Titans. He's stepped in for Sovensu, but that doesn't mean we don't see Sovensu play either.
Right.
We do get to still see So get subbed in here and there for the Titans, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that because I'm a bit of a fan of Sovensu as well. The guy's a monster in his own right. It's just that Stitch, when you're going to make this switch up, he's the guy you have to turn to.
I think Stitch will be in the roster all day today. You probably sub out Johnny, will bring in Sovensu. Do you want to run Diva? Do you want to run this? But this is one of the micro matches I'm looking for too, because Stitch just absolutely shut down the opposing Hammond, the opposing Wrecking Ball. The Shanghai Dragons are going to play a ton of Hammond, a ton of Wrecking Ball in these compositions, so that's one of the small things to look for. Also of note, when you see Stitch in the kill feed, see who's helping him out, because he finishes a lot of Twilight's kills that he starts.
Yeah, great communication on the Vancouver Titans. That's what it takes to be at the top. Let's take a look at our map set presented by Toyota. Quite a few of them there.
Yeah.
If you're used to tuning in, you're used to seeing 4. Look at that, Hex. We got potential 7 on the board.
Yeah, first to 4 will take this and move on to the Stage 3 finals. The first pick belongs to the higher seed, which is the Vancouver Titans. No shock that they're going to run on Ilios. It's one of their better control maps. It's a map that if you get the particular stage right, you can run a much stronger 3-3 composition. But Vancouver's not going to be surprised what Shanghai does. And on the other side, this one all about execution today. You're not throwing curveballs. Both these teams ready for the other.
Yeah, that's it. They're prepared, but we are going to get some damage. At least right out the gates, hoping for it from the Shanghai Dragons. They are kind of making a name for themselves here, running the more aggressive strategies, trying to stray away from what is so standard for the past 3 stages. But that's right, time to get hyped. We're getting into the first map of this semifinal. Shanghai Dragons, Vancouver Titans on control.
Doomfist can be so good on Ilios too, because a majority of the fighting happens around walls. And so when you knock someone into a wall, they take extra damage. That's why you see a lot of Doomfist on this point, and also perhaps if we get over to the Lighthouse as well. Very good hero there. A nice hack from Stitch. Stitch does so much individually. My God.
So clutch. So clutch. That's the perfect start here for the Vancouver Titans. The point unlocks as the kills come through. The Shanghai Dragons forced to run back to spawn. Vancouver Titans will get the first point control, and so they will start the climb. 100%. That's what we're looking for at the top of the screen there.
So
to make it.
Anyone can be a Sombra that's an EMP bot. You farm it up and you get your ultimate, then you use it. And there's a lot of Sombras in the league that actually play that style. Stitch is so good at the individual play, but also when he gets that EMP, they win like 80+% of their team fights. It's ridiculous. He does everything on the Sombra. Again, small sample size, but it's been ultra impressive.
He's got the mind of an assassin, Hex.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, shield for you. But the healing coming through, it took quite a while to find that kill. An excellent Bionade goes down as well, putting Vancouver Titans a bit on the back foot. Janu gonna get demeched, but the rest of them look like they're stabilizing, and losing Youngjin is not gonna help anything here for the Shanghai Dragons.
A little surprising they were even able to get that resurrection off, but 2 will fall, and now Ding reigns supreme in the sky. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full.
4 just like that, when it's looking done and dusted for his team. That's the kind of individual performance we're going to be looking for here, Hex. The standout plays, DM and Dig, just rocking them. So 48% on the board for the Vancouver Titans. Shanghai Dragons showing that they've got some fight in them.
DM has gone off of the Widowmaker here, is going to play the Sombra to help support his team. So he's a little behind as far as EMP charge. He came out the first fight on Widow. Stitch now with that EMP ready to go. Going to try to set up an angle, but they have to get past this, well, wall in the sky that is Ding.
Oh, that's one way to do it. Hey, there's an EMP. Oh, is he going to go down? The healing once again. So good on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. There's the counter EMP coming out, and it's DM getting the DMAC on Janu. Slime goes down as well. And the Shanghai Dragons, they just executed that so well. You got to give it to Luffy, though. The guy's a madman. Nobody seems to die, even when Vancouver Titans are calling for the shot.
Yeah, we've not really given the backline of the Shanghai Dragons enough credit, but that's a 5-man EMP. You're going to win that fight. Bumper can't primal. You don't have Rally to give everybody armor through that either. The only person not hit was Twilight, but you only have a single ultimate target to use that on to keep them alive, so smart to back out, but Shanghai is taking the lead.
Oh, we got a boost going in. Bumper going to try and make it. Oh, that's such a sick sleep again. There you go. You go for the boost on your Winston. You want him to get in there and wreak havoc, and he's just taking a nap, sleeping on the job, Hex. For shame.
Are they going to toss in this primal, trying to pick targets in the back line? This is not going to end up in a kill as long as Translocator's out. Yep. Now you see me, now you don't. Not the greatest ultimate.
Sound barrier used here by the Titans as well. They are looking to try and end this fight, but another, once again, the EMP, monstrous on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. DM just connecting with everyone. No fun allowed, no abilities. And Ding going to drop to the floor as well. Positioning wasn't terrible for him, but he gets slept. Still in this, however. 90% has been crossed here for the Shanghai Dragons. We're on the side of one fight, and losing Twilight is a disaster for the Vancouver Titans. The healing, they just don't have it.
They've never been able to keep all their healers alive at the same time. Hoxel even has to switch off on Brigida. They're getting in here. Shanghai only needs to win a single more fight, and they keep racking up the kills.
So solid here from the Shanghai Dragons. A totally different beast that it doesn't look like the Titans can come to grips to. It is going to be the first point going the way of the Shanghai Dragons. An excellent start here. Do we get to call them the underdogs? Because, I mean, force a habit, Hex. I kind of want to just be like, the underdogs in this matchup. They're looking fantastic.
They were the 8th seed. They were the last team to clinch a spot at our Atlanta homestand by virtue of beating Philadelphia.
I guess technically, right? They are the 8th seed going into it. So, you know, any team going up against the Titans with their record,
yeah,
you got to call them the underdog.
I don't know. Our stats guy extraordinaire ran the simulations, and it only comes out that Vancouver wins about 60% of the time, which is one of the lowest possible. But DM came to play today. We talked about Stitches, Sombra. DM got 2 EMPs. 10 people caught up in those 2 EMPs. He got 5 each time. He's charging at about 1 minute each time. So, I mean, Ding used to play the Sombra for this team. DM has now picked it up. And Shanghai off to a 1-0 start on our first map.
And look at this, triple DPS, let's go. Youngjin ready to open it up, he's got the fist. And yep, gets to kind of take control of the high ground here, gets to kind of hang around on the edges and just wait for that to happen. Ding, once again, connecting faces with rockets. The guy's a monster all the way over the top. Finding the first kill to kick things off, and it's the Vancouver Titans now who are caught on the back foot. Very curious to see. Not used to seeing this sort of situation here from the Titans, that they are struggling at the start of a match. Usually they're the ones. Oh, look at that. Chucks him off the side.
So close.
No, never mind.
Well, the Titans need to get first control with this composition because it's very difficult to retake in the face of all this damage going on. But when you lose Twilight that early, there's almost no way you can try to fight inside the point, use the ceiling to your advantage. And right now, they're just not getting the key entry picks that they need.
Oh, positioning is so good here as well.
Bumper's gonna die.
Bumper goes down. He tried to make something happen. Not meant to be. Now Youngjin's gonna join the fight. Could be looking for the punch. Once it comes off a cooldown, yep, there you go. Hoxel, get out. He gets hacked for his trouble, but still his team are here. They're backing him up. Doesn't matter if he gets hacked. He's getting the support. That may cause Gamsu, though. He gets deleted, and that is Vancouver Titans flipping the point. But now they need to win the fight.
Well, it's really smart play for the Titans to play on the point here because it kind of mitigates some of the damage from the sky. And so you get on that point, and now, what do you have to fight it? If you get enough bodies on there, you're gonna have the advantage on the ground. The angles aren't very good for the Pharah to even put in splash damage over into this house. So very nice play, force the fight onto the point. Youngjin, I think if he would have got the Brigida into the wall there, might have gotten the kill. Didn't happen. He's gonna go to a Brigida of his own to give his team some extra healing. No other changes really coming out. And right now, since DM is now over to the Sombra, Stitch is going to have EMP advantage. On paper, EMP advantage usually means a 1 fight. Oh, that's brutal.
That's not the way to start things here. Hoxel going down. You're not going to have that crowd control that Brigida brings it to the table. There's the EMP from Stitch. Trying to put the pressure on, but Slime is going to get deleted next. And Shanghai Dragons, 2 key kills going their way. The DMEC happening as well. We'll see if anything comes from that. Well played on the angles. Nearly gets it. Bumper so close.
Bumper just getting bopped around right now. Primal Rage melts away. Shanghai regains control of the point.
Oh, looking so good. Shanghai Dragons, no time wasted. 58% for the Vancouver Titans, and it's the Shanghai Dragons now starting their climb once again, 36% and counting. So on to the Titans. As far as the ults are concerned, they've got the 2 initiate ults, or at least the main one, which is going to be that rally on Hoxel. So when they do decide it's time to go, they've got that to use, but now Ding's got the barrage. He could try and slam the door on him.
He's fine and content to just poke away here. There's not really a lot of pressure to be put on him. It's going to be up to Twilight, just put a little pressure on him and maybe get a hack, but he's playing the angles really well.
That's making it difficult. You see Vancouver Titans. I think you said this the other day, right, Hex? You know that justice can't reign when you're inside?
It cannot. That is true.
They're doing a good job. Now they're having to cross that scary open ground and try and make their way onto the point. Gamsu's got some mines there ready and waiting for him. Gonna make it difficult to fight, and once you're out in the open, exactly, you see it. There's the EMP over the top. 2 get caught in it, but not Slime. He gets the sound barrier off. We're trading back and forth. We lose Twilight. That's Ding with the deletion of the main healer for the Titans, but he goes down in the meantime.
Well, it seems that the plan against the Titans for Shanghai is they're not going to let Vancouver's best player beat him, and you may think that's Bumper, but it's actually Twilight. They have solo brushed Twilight several times. They are taking him out of the fight as soon as possible. Someone else has to step up, because they're not going to let Twilight beat him.
Oh, there's a deletion. There it is. John chucked off the side. This is looking to me like it's going to be a Shanghai win on the first map. Hex, they've got everything going their way. The Vancouver Titans, they're trying to bring it back. Bumper with a kill on Youngshin, but Ding is still holding on the point itself. Point blank rockets, that slime gone, overtime subverted, and is anybody here to touch? Looks like Bumper, yes, barely makes it on, but he's walking into the mines. He can't hang around here.
Oh, and he's so low HP as well. They have to wait for Jono. Jono gets on the point though.
Oh, they're still looking for this fight. He's trying to clear some of these points as well. Will get demeched though, so Jono is vulnerable, but the rest of the Shanghai Dragons, nowhere to be found. It's Gamsu, he throws himself on there, instantly hacked, instantly deleted, and that is going to be the Vancouver Titans with the flip. 60% for them. But the Shanghai Dragons are sitting at a comfortable 99, so all they have to do is play patient and play off their ultimates.
Well, Vancouver's one of the clutchest teams in the league by the numbers. When it gets into overtime, their win rate is 21% higher than their overall win rate. It goes 56 to 77 in stage 3. When it's on the line, Vancouver comes up big.
Yeah, DM just making sure they're on their toes. You know, gotta pay attention. Hoxell's hanging around here. If you do that again, DM, it's gonna get nasty for you. But there's the EMP over the top. 3 hacked on the side of the Dragons. Ding over the top with the barrage though. Just a total wipe for the Titans. Titans trying to make the plays, and it's just not meant to be. And this is going to be the start here for the Shanghai Dragons. The dream beginning to this series for them. They will take the lead 1-0 in this first of 4.
Overwatch is a game all about economics, alt usage, and mostly efficiency. DM more efficient. 4 people hacked every EMP. Stitch only got 2 every time, and I believe that was the difference.
That was such a clean win for the Dragons. And yes, the Vancouver Titans, it turns out they do bleed, Hex. We'll find out how much right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
September, save the date. You do not want to miss it. The grand finals, well, the actual championship here for the Overwatch League 2019 season. Guys, we're going to be getting into the match in just a moment, but our insider, Emily Tang, she was able to catch up with the Shanghai Dragons. She was able to get some insight on what actually happened in their last match.
Thanks, Emler. Now, the Shanghai Dragons were the first ever 8th seed to beat the #1 seed. Yesterday's win brought them to their first semifinal appearance here today. And the Dragons are not resting on their laurels. They have their sights set on season playoffs next. But first, they have to get through the Vancouver Titans here in Stage 3 playoffs. Now, I talked to the team to see how they were feeling about the match, and they said they're not afraid of the Titans because a victory against such a dominant team would be that much sweeter. Shanghai has also been doing their homework by studying how to best exploit the Titans' weaknesses, and will be choosing their maps accordingly. So, watch out, Vancouver. They're up 1-0, so it looks like that research is paying off. Sumler and Hex, back to you.
Thank you, Emily, and I figured it out, Hex, because I'm used to throwing to intel, you know, the intel by inside, inside by intel, right? And I'm like, but Emily doesn't do those. My brain was just revolting for a second there. And it happens, it happens. You get into a habit, and well, tough to break. 1-0 lead right now for the Shanghai Dragons. They've hit the ground running, and they are definitely walking all over the Vancouver Titans right now.
If you're a Titans fan, the sky is not falling, though. Vancouver control maps, you know, it's not necessarily their style. Control maps, in my opinion, generally usually favor the DPS compositions. Pharah is always good on control maps. You think of Oasis, you think about a lot of different maps that the DPS can be very strong on. So it's not stunning. I think even as we go to the next semi, Valiant taking control. Control is an outlier. Kind of throw it out there. It can be very chaotic. And now as we go forward, they become more standard, and now, since the Titans lost, it's their next map pick. We do have a substitution. Xiaomin Su will be coming in for Janu, so it looks like they're going away from the Diva onto the Zarya. Pretty telegraphed move.
Yeah, this is what we've seen last time from the Vancouver Titans as well, so it does seem like this is the game plan for the Titans. They're going to be sticking to it. Xiaomin Su, a real threat, a monster Zarya when he plays it, so just adding to the firepower here on the side of the Vancouver Titans. They want to just get in here and just slam Shanghai Dragons. They cannot let Shanghai Dragons go up on that 2-0 lead, because then it starts to stretch away from you and it gets a bit dicey. You're going to have a lot more work ahead of you if you're the Titans in this semi-final. So, you know, looks like Xiaomin Su's ready to go. We got the thumbs up from the ref. Stitch, don't get down on yourself, Stitch. It's tough. DM's popping off.
Vancouver has a very good map record on most of these hybrid maps, so they can kind of pick whichever one they want. Maybe Eichenwald, because the Dragons aren't great on it. They have a below 500 record on that map over the course of the season. Bumper not really smirking as much. The other side, Gamsu has that trademark smirk on as well.
That's a good point to make here, Hex, and we're going to remind you all, if you're just tuning in, the high seed in the match got to pick the first map, but unlike in the regular season, here we actually have a map pick veto. So we will have the losing team get to pick the next map in the series, and it looks like it's going to be Numbani. So the Vancouver Titans have chosen to go for Numbani here as their hybrid choice. Yeah,
they've got a lot of good records on most of these maps, so they could have picked whatever. They've been dominant throughout the season, so they have all their picks, so to speak. Ilios was not a surprise. It was like the lesser of all three evils, because Nepal is not good for the style that Vancouver likes to run, and neither is Oasis. Of course, Oasis is just a great Pharah map. So we'll see what Vancouver wants to run. This is their map choice. They are down 0-1 in our first to 4 in this semifinal. Winner goes to the Stage 3 finals.
And we've got the Trout feeding us information, Hex. He's got us on a hook. He just won't let go. It's going to be Stitch, Bumper, and Hawksaw. Apparently, they have not lost on this map since 2017. So maybe that is an indicator as to why Vancouver Titans chose to go here. It's home turf. It's ground that they're comfortable on.
Yeah, I mean, 2017, that's a pretty impressive streak to not lose on a map. They, of course, 5-0 during this season on Numbani. And let's see what the teams actually want to roll out on. It could be very difficult to tell early on. Defensively, actually, Xiaomin Su on a Soldier 76. Always been a very good Soldier 76 map. Automatic high ground for the defense, put out a lot of damage. You hang out there with your Ana up top, keep her safe. Everyone else jumps in, creates chaos. And Shanghai is going to make adjustments after they've scouted this one out. Widowmaker going to come in from DM. A Widow Pharah Doomfist. Let's go.
I am so down. You get onto that high ground, you have that mobility from the fist, and of course you got Ding up here just already putting Bumper on notice. That's just going to be feeding ult energy over to Twilight, however, so you have to be careful about that. You got to put some pressure on Twilight. Can't get Twilight
Gamsu's in trouble. Gamsu's in trouble. He got hacked, and then Bumper comes in with the finishing blow.
Thing is, though, oh, that sleep unfortunately got interrupted. That could have been sick. Bumper, though, this is the shot exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You lose your main tank, whatever. If you can get a few headshots, you're still in this fight.
Well, now you've lost your main heals as well. They're really focusing down Twilight. Xiaomin Su will fall afterwards. This is all sorts of trouble for Vancouver right now.
They've got some real pressure going on right now. Oh, so close to hitting the shot there. TM looking for it. Stitch gonna have to back off. Slime got the anti-heal nated. Yep, Youngshin gonna collect that kill. And TM now, you're just staring down the barrel of that sniper rifle. How are you gonna get up to the point and contest? you're running into headshots the entire way.
Now, first point is definitely over here unless they want to come back in, maybe get Stitch's EMP. They do seem like they want to fight. They come in an off angle, but now with Stitch down, what's your win condition?
Nothing. You got nothing. The Vancouver Titans just got rolled over. You lost Gamsu early, but then when you have these players here, DM, the mechanically gifted, the DPS players who can just turn fights around, so excited to get Widows back in the fight. Just means that it's not over yet. You get a few kills, hey, your team's right back in that fight. Vancouver Titans now, they've been put on notice.
Very much like the first map, they are just focusing down Twilight. Like I said, a lot of people look at Bumper as the main component of the team. The only reason you look at it that way is because Twilight keeps him alive. Probably the best flex support we have in all of the Overwatch League, and I don't say that lightly because we have Jonak and the likes of several great players, but they're going after. Never mind.
You gotta check corners. Check your corners. You look left and right before crossing out onto the balcony. There you go, Youngjin pastes him, and that is going to be just so much progress made here for Shanghai Dragons, practically for free at this point. Vancouver Titans, what are they doing? They need to figure out how to get out here and contest. That's a good way to start, Hoxall. I mean, I'm wondering, did Ding just get too greedy there? What was he doing in this?
Should not really have been in that stairway, and that's a interesting kill. Not going to be able to
put it.
Well, I mean, you know, that's the parlance of the professional. Ambitious, interesting. So they're going to have to regroup here because they didn't get the resurrection off on Ding, so they're just going to back off. Meteor Strike comes in, tries to gain some positioning here, just makes Stitch translocate.
A little bit of the zone. But finally, the Vancouver Titans at least are able to get in here. Never mind. DM with the headshot on Twilight. There you go. That's how you kick off the party. Stitch trying to turn it around. Monster EMP on his side. Ding immediately eliminated, but they need more of a follow-up here. Sominsu trying to get in. Looking for the Helix. Doesn't quite find it, though. Youngjin survives. Still, DM, man, he's just a constant threat. Gamsu gets chucked off the side like an old tin can. And that's going to be it. Vancouver Titans will stabilize.
Sends Gamsu to the glue factory over the edge there, and they're going to be able to stabilize this. I wonder if Sominsu's going to switch. Still a good point for Soldier 76, but yeah, with that high ground, you're still just putting yourself closer to the forest. Yominsu's going to go to a Tracer instead. Rally to come out to try to put some more armor on the point.
Yeah, they get the contest. You just throw him in there first. DM, the constant threat. DM, the constant threat. Twilight gone, Sominsu as well. But it's just a little bit too late, it seems. They're still in this, but the rest of his team need to get in position to support.
Well, you go to the Tracer to try to put some pressure on the Widow, but at this level, these Widows are so good. He hits a flick shot, then he gets Twilight again right after it. DM putting on a clinic.
Oh, you looked for it. So close. DM is such a boss. All right. So 1-0 lead right now for the Shanghai Dragons. 2.5 minutes on the clock. And now we're going to have the sound barrier initiate coming in here for the Vancouver Titans. Looking to buy more time. Looking to put the pressure on the Shanghai Dragons. But Shanghai Dragons, they're able to back off safely. And that's the Vancouver Titans. Yes, they got some ground. They burned some time off the clock, but that was a big ult to use. See if they can figure it out. We have DM actually going for the change now. So the Widow, no longer an option. We will have the Sombra back in play. But Hex, you pointed this out earlier. He was owning on the Sombra on the first map.
Yeah, played very, very well, but now they're going to be behind it because Stitch is going to have the EMP burst.
There it is, there it is, there it is. The double from Ding. Direct rockets as well. Nearly picks up the follow-up. That was so close, but he did the damage. He gets the afterthought kill on Stitch. Nowhere to run or hide. And that's the second point getting picked up for the Shanghai Dragons. 3 minutes on the clock for them. Added time, and now they're on the home stretch. Vancouver Titans backs to the wall, Hex.
So sometimes when you get solo ulted, you take it as a compliment. Like, oh, I'm that big of a threat that you have to solo ult me. I believe that's the 4th time Twilight's gotten solo barrage. And this time, you're sick of it. You're just sick of it. You're putting so much pressure on him. And I love the strategy of Shanghai. We're just going to take out Twilight. What can you do after it?
Oh, trying to bait. There it is. EMP through. Twilight once again taking out. This time it wasn't even a rocket. He got punched in the face. Ding is just wreaking havoc now in the back line. They've got nowhere to run on the side of the Titans. They're getting forced back. Rocket after rocket just chasing them back to spawn. And so much progress being made here for the Shanghai Dragons. They still have so much time.
Just rolling through. Stitch is now forced to get off of the Sombra. He's going to McCree, now to Widow to try to get that shot, to do something about Ding's Pharah.
You got to make some kind of a play here. No pressure on Ding, and they are just nearly going to walk right up to it. Hoxall with the bubble is able to get out onto the point. He will contest it. We lose DM, but Ding takes out Spawn.
Look, Twilight's in Spawn because he doesn't want to be caught under this again.
Once again, and then, hey, I'll just go ahead and take that, no problem. Sominsu gone. Youngjin hanging out on the point. We'll see how long he's going to survive this. Gamsu working with him, and that is the stun combo on a Bumper. He's out of the fight. Dude, Shanghai Dragons, they just look unstoppable right now, Hex. The Vancouver Titans can't adjust. 3 points picked up for the Shanghai Dragons and the Vancouver Titans. Some of these players, Bumper, Huxall, they might be getting handed their first loss on the map.
They haven't had a proper answer to the Pharah or Mercy. They haven't pushed the ground hard enough to make the Pharah Mercy not be a factor in the sky. And you can see it right now on the faces of the Vancouver Titans that they don't have an answer. And this is the first time I've seen them look a little bit worried. Second half of Numbani, right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Heroes never die.
You have them on your screen now, the Shanghai Dragons with the relentless offense on Numbani. They ended that offense, Hex, with 29 kills to their name, 7 for Vancouver Titans. The Vancouver Titans just couldn't get anything going.
I just really like their game plan. I really like their strategy. They've obviously looked at the film and said, what is the biggest component of Vancouver's success? It's a fellow named Twilight, and they're just making it rain on him. And the thing is, it's putting Huxall in weird positions too. You saw that the barrage that came from behind, Huxall's just a little too far forward that he can't come in with a whip shot or a stun, or even put the shield to give Twilight time to hit a sleep dart. And they're just putting so much pressure, so much stress on this team. And right now, Vancouver, just see it in their faces. They look a little lost.
You can tell right now, no grin from Bumper. Stitch looking a little nervous. Twilight definitely head down, trying to get the work done. This guy's just trying to survive right now, Hex. We'll see. They're going on to the offense now. Vancouver Titans, Shanghai Dragons, flipping over to the defense. And, well, they're not really going to change their strategy, are they?
No, I mean, they don't really have to. You run until they prove they can beat it. I mean, this is what you do in football all the time. You take away the other team's best player, and you say, well, the other guys better beat us, because it's not going to be this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, nice attempt there from Stitch. I like it.
And look, now they have to run something that they're not used to running. Twilight has to play Moira because he's been getting rocked on Ana. Stitch is over to the Roadhog, and now you have to make these adjustments mid-match. Vancouver hasn't had to make most adjustments throughout the year.
They've just been so dominant. So now at the very end here, we're starting to see them having to change up, and it's not looking too comfortable on their side of the map. Vancouver Titans right now trying to stick together. They're getting herded back into the small room. Bumper, eventually that shield's going to go down, and yep, he's got to drop it just to allow it to recharge.
They should have time to rotate and get everyone healed back up, though, so they're going to come the long way around. Actually, they're going to take high ground here. They had a couple options. Taking over the absolute high ground, so now they swap positions. However, Shanghai knows about this.
Instantly spotted, and now you're out in the open. This is Dink's territory. He's nearly got a barrage already, Hex. Luffy picked off by Stitch. That's huge.
That's what you have to do. Luffy has been operating with impunity this entire match. No one's been able to get back there. A great flank, a great spot from Stitch. And now, after that one kill, they're able to put pressure on the point, take it over. And it just shows you how important your Ana is. If you lose your Ana, you lose the majority of your healing in these compositions. That Mercy's going to be in the sky for the most part, trying to help out the Pharah. A great single kill, and they take it over.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Buffy's been outperforming Twilight as well, but you're right. Twilight has been focused. He hasn't been able to play his game. Obi, however, been doing an excellent job. Just interesting for him to be out in the open like that, just completely alone. It's not exactly where you want to be.
You usually want to be on the back corner, but they made such weird rotations that I think it caught him out, and he had to find a new position.
Ended up costing him, but DM trying to get scopes on, trying to figure out where everybody's playing from here for the Vancouver Titans. This isn't bad. Yep. Did he catch Slime? No, he didn't. Slime able to get out of harm's way, and so the sound barrier will be able to come in here eventually, but Stitch took down Loopy, and that's DM gone as well. The res attempt coming in from Coma, but it's not going to be enough. The Shanghai Dragons trying to put up a fight, but the Vancouver Titans rolling.
Absolutely rolling. It's got to feel good for Twilight that they tried to barrage him and he just faded away. He's like, ha, not this time.
Sucker.
And they get through that fight without having to use anything. So the EMP came out for Shanghai. They're unable to connect with it. EMP barrage usually nets you at least one kill. It does not. Vancouver takes his payload over. And look, all credit to Vancouver. They're not just running the same thing and hoping for different results. They made significant changes in their composition, and it looks like a whole different team right now.
Yeah, a bit of a back pocket play here. Keeping it on the lock, and now we've got someone who's just waiting for them to try and engage. He hears the ball roll, and Gamsu. There's also, and that is it. Go for it. Why not? High value targets there. Gamsu and Youngjin picked off. Not a solo, but a double grab. 2 big kills here to kick things off. Makes it so difficult for the Shanghai Dragons to contest on the point. And now the Vancouver Titans are getting a whole lot of push. They've got 4 minutes 50 in the bank right now, Hex. They've got so much time to work with on the side of Vancouver.
And this composition can be very good as an anti-Pharaoh composition. You see Hoxel even on the Diva. The Shatter comes down here. They get him!
Oh, not even contesting. Who's going to contest? Is anybody here? It's not looking like it. Vancouver Titans just stroll their way through to 3 points on Numbani. And Shanghai Dragons just not able to hang at all.
Great adjustments for Vancouver there. They had some heroes that are able to put pressure on the Pharah. The Roadhog does it. The Moira can do it a little bit. And then they ran Hoxel on the Diva. They've decided they're not gonna let Ting beat them on the other side. Great dynamic match here. We're gonna run back Numbani when we return.
Hex, we were just talking about this in the break. What did the Vancouver Titans do right here to cancel out the Shanghai Dragons? Because it really didn't look like the Shanghai Dragons were able to adapt or get anything going for them.
Well, they started running 4 tanks, and then they put Twilight off of the Ana, so he's not just a stationary target. He's able to fade away, but really it's Stitch. It puts the Pharah outside of effective operating usage of the rockets. She's got to play so far away because the ever-looming threat of the Roadhog hook. Roadhog's alternative fire is really good at long distance. There was some pressure, and Ding was never able to really find any good purchase there. And there's just so many tanks on the ground that you're having a hard time finding a good target to kill as Pharah.
Once again, there it is. Ultra aggression coming out here from the Vancouver Titans, and they're just rinsing and repeating. Use what worked so well.
We say the teams that are going to be the best in this league are teams that adapt. The meta will shift, and Vancouver set the 3rd fastest offense on Numbani in the Overwatch League. They got it done, and I'd like to just kind of figure out how much time Hoxel's ever played Diva.
Right, that's a question. But so far he's hanging in there. He's holding his own. So now, well, Ding still hanging around. They're doing a good job of sticking together here on the side of the Titans. But Ding is getting close to that barrage. It is going to end up costing them if they let this persist. Right now, he's just trying to do the best he can to avoid Stitch. Does not want to show himself too closely here. But once he has that barrage, it's going to get dicey. Yep, got the barrage now. Could be looking for it. His team are engaging. He's going to try and support at range. And now, when is he going to see the opening for him to get in here? Because they're dropping low on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Lighthouse is blazing through. That's cleave damage cutting through everybody on the Dragons. So much pressure. The barrage gets thrown in by Ding, but that's not going anywhere. And Vancouver Titans continue to hold. We're down to 30 seconds on the clock here for Shanghai.
This is the first time in the Overwatch League that Hoxel has ever played Diva, and it is working out just fine for them. Look, 4 tanks on the ground, not enough. And you've got the burst healing from Twilight on the Moira, spraying all these tanks. They're never gonna get super low. Now Shanghai back against the wall. Final push for the Dragons.
Now, looking so good here for the Titans. They have to hold their own, and they've got the ults coming online as well. Hoxel already gonna be setting it up. And as far as Bumper's concerned, he's got the Primal and uses it just to jump in. He's gonna be able to cut Luffy off from the rest of his team, really put the pressure on. He could even find a solo. Where's the support? It's nowhere to be found. The backline are dead for the Dragons, and the Vancouver Titans are going to hold this. And now you get to flip over where they're gonna have 4.5 minutes to work with on offense.
Yeah, rally's good.
Looking excellent.
Rally's good, but it's not that good. Youngjin goes down. The adaptation has been beautiful for the Vancouver Titans. You've got guys who've never played Heroes now playing Heroes because that's just what they needed right there. And now the ball is in your court, Shanghai.
Man, look at him. He's just like wiggling. They're so excited. Everything's going so great now. It's just like complete opposite of that first offense. Now the Vancouver Titans looking like they're starting to find themselves, and it's the Shanghai Dragons who are looking very toned down and calm, collected.
It goes back to
they're gonna need to cool down here because they've got a long hold ahead of them.
It goes back to a conversation that happened when 3-3 meta became the meta of like, well, why don't you just run Pharah into it? No one can shoot Pharah. It's like, well, she'll never kill anybody. There's just not enough burst damage. The healing is too strong on the ground. And then you started seeing Pharah because like, oh, they're running Ana. I can kill an Ana, or I can kill a Zen. Those are targets that I can actually deal with, or I can separate a Reinhardt. But now the Pharah is just not finding anything. You're getting damage, and I guess now you're just becoming a barrage. Bots and trying to get that going, but it hasn't worked.
I just want to see more DM Widow. Just want to see more DM Widow, Hex. He saved them on that first push.
Yeah, he did.
Now, he did get the kills that allowed for the Dragons to push in and get the job done. Wasn't the case this time. Shanghai Dragons now on the defense. They have 4.5 minutes ahead of them here, where they have to hold the Vancouver Titans off of that point.
Shanghai playing for a draw here. No way for them to win the map. Vancouver just needs 33% of progress on the very first points of Numbani, and we're gonna tie it up.
That's sick. All right, let's see. What do we got? As far as the defense is concerned, Youngjin, that's gonna be the change here. We will have a Junkrat in play. So traps you have to worry about. You're gonna have to worry about the mines, and then just the constant shrapnel. So him on the high ground here could make things a little tricky for the Vancouver Titans. A little bit of a... Exactly, see? As they have to go through these choke points, so much damage gets cranked out on them. The trap instantly denied, but they don't have a whole lot of room to work with here on the side of the Dragons. They're going to have to constantly contest on this payload.
Yeah, Anti came in, and the Titans are playing very patient. They back out, but Stitch got hacked by DM, and that's it. You can't fight anymore. Jump off the edge if you have a chance. Just gonna try to get out with what lives they have remaining. Reset, back at it.
And they'll manage, they'll manage. Hoxel got hacked, but that's no problem. He's gonna be able to back off here and get topped up by the rest of his team. Vancouver Titans, round 2. But that was almost a freebie for them. They're only at 3.5 minutes. They had that extra 30 seconds, which is, you know, a little bit more comfort there. Gives them a bit more time to build up the ults.
The issue with losing the first fight so poorly is that DM now has EMP. EMP is very good against tank-heavy rosters because tanks rely a great deal on their abilities to get things done.
All Youngjin, their slime gone. DM, EMP. Translocates out, that's fine, he survives it, and that was Ting picking up a kill on So, but he's traded instantly by Stitch. Gamsu's still hanging in here, but there's the EMP over the top. Not a whole lot that the Vancouver Titans can hope to do now. They're gonna get collected up and killed off. Back to spawn with you.
Now Hoxel. He's never experienced it before, but this is what it's like to play Pilot Diva. They're not gonna let you die. You have to wait, the body blocks. Oh, what a stagger.
So sick.
They slapped him too, it's still going.
So sick.
Oh, never mind, he died from the sleep dart. You don't see that icon very often. Sleep dart doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Really, right? That was a sick stagger. And they're doing a great job here, Shanghai, so far. Oh, the hook in though. That's a big problem. Ding hooked out all the way out in the open too. Not gonna be possible for Koma to get in to get the res. And so the Shanghai Dragons are going to have to hold a man down. Youngjin, you gotta come up with the goods. Taking out Bumper, that's a good start. Youngjin over the top as well, still cranking out the hurt. This is so important now. Point blank assassinates Twilight. So goes down, and Vancouver Titans, they look so good at the start of this push.
Stitch has gotten a couple kills, but it's fine. Right now, you just reset. You get everybody back if you can. Hopefully you don't donate too much to the other side. They're banking up ultimates, but the problem is Twilight's got an ultimate that can be stopped by EMP. So even if you come in here with Coalescence, it can get EMP and you get stopped out of it. Hoxel self-destruct, well, considering he's never played Diva before, probably doesn't know the angles as perfectly as you'd like.
Well, we've got to change from Bumper. He's gone for the Winston now. Off the Rhine. So we'll have that vertical game here that's possible.
This makes sense. He was just getting knocked around by the Junkrat, so...
But we got a minute 40 on the clock now.
It's 2 pushes on Numbani, minute 40. If you go in now.
Stitch hesitating. Yep, all right, now's the time to go. Can he get a hook on anybody here? Thinking about it right now, he's just trying to break that shield, but there it is.
They're trying to
the
focus
lighthouse
on
out. Gamsu hanging in. Shield gonna get deleted, and Gamsu pasted up against the wall. Nowhere to go. EMP over the top as well, and Bumper Slime, they're just finding all the kills. Ding trying to fight back, but it's not looking like it's gonna be enough. They're hanging on by a thread, but the Vancouver Titans will succeed, tying up the series 1-1. And looking very good. And well, the important part here, Stitch, Bumper, Huxall, they keep the streak alive, Hex.
Yeah, they've adapted. They are still unbeaten on Numbani. We are in for a good one. In our semifinals, it is 1st to 4 here. Each team has taken a single map, and breathing a sigh of relief must be Vancouver. We're gonna take a break. We'll see you after that.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Apagando las luces. Apagando las luces. Heroes never die. Justice reigns from above. Огонь по готовности. Get into position. Gale the Mahal. Systems at home.
The Shanghai Dragons are trying to pull off a major upset over the Vancouver Titans, but even in the losing moments, it's all smiles for the Titans. They're tied 1-1 at the half. Welcome back, everybody. It's Puckett, and I just said we're at the half. But to be honest, we're probably going to have another halftime. It's Zoe, we've got Bren, we've got Sideshow, and this is really a game break because in the semifinals, it is the 1st to 4 maps. We could have a very long night if these two teams keep trading blows.
Well, honestly, if it's going to look like what we just saw, I'm absolutely fine with getting out of this arena at around 2 a.m. That's fine with me if we see a high-quality Overwatch, all right. And yeah, that's literally what we saw. Ilios, very, very strong performance from the Shanghai Dragons. It really just clicked. Thing was unstoppable. And the Titans, they did try to stop him. Janu was on Farah duty. However, he got caught out a lot, and so was Twilight. Those two got very little done for their team. So very good picks from the Shanghai Dragons side.
I said in the pre-show today that if the Shanghai Dragons are going to be able to beat the Vancouver Titans, they need to be playing at the same level as they did yesterday against New York. And so far, they're coming out swinging. It is a phenomenal performance, at least in map 1, they've seen from the Dragons. I mean, you can't be disappointed with this. Look at this expert coordination coming out from them, comboing up a lot of the ultimates.
Josh, earlier you said that Ding is the best Pharah in the game. I've always been a member of Team Jinmu.
Okay,
I'm ready to jump. I'm ready to jump on board the Shanghai Pharah wagon there. But in the second map, things started to go wrong for the Shanghai Dragons, but not before they started off fantastically. 29 kills, or 27 to just 7 in their attack.
29 to 7.
There we go.
29 to 7 on their offense. And DM opens it up with these lovely shots. And then with the trio of Youngjin, DM, and Ding, this composition that we've seen so much of with the solo Orisa, they were just able to scroll on through. And I was wondering, why have the Titans picked Numbani into Dragons? Because it's a good map for the Dragons. But then you look at this insane win streak that the Vancouver Titans have been on. Their last loss on Numbani was in December 2017. But it was to these players that form the core of the Dragons. So then you got to start being a bit worried. But the adaptation from Stitch on the Roadhog just carried them through.
Yeah, I love the history that we've got between these two groups of players on either side as well. It goes deep and stretches far. But I mean, this was a phenomenal performance by Stitch.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these hooks, man.
How do you get rid of the Pharah? You bring out the Roadhog.
That's absurd. Like, this composition is being ran by so many teams into the DPS compositions. We saw Shock trying it, but we haven't really seen anyone have as much success as the Titans did just then.
Yeah, it's that's as little as it takes, right? You just beef it up, go for a Slambulance, and that seemed to really throw the Dragons off. They did not know what to do against it, and that was the reason why Vancouver literally just rolled all the way to point C in their attack.
Now, we've been watching a lot of the damage dealers throughout this because, let's be honest, Stage 1, Stage 2 finals, you didn't see any damage dealers. It was all the triple tank, triple supports. But today, we do want to highlight some of these supports, especially the Ana play we saw on both sides.
Yeah, and I was sure it's going to be very crucial for both sides as per usual. If you're playing with Ana, you need to make sure that you get the best out of her kit, meaning you got to hit those sleep darts, you've got to hit those Bionates, and your team needs to follow up on that. And both teams tried their best, and honestly, I would assume that Twilight should be the better Ana going away from this, because on the Titan side, we had Janu in on that Diva for the majority of the game, which should technically really shut down everything Luffy does, but it was the opposite. Janu got shut down completely, got picked off constantly, and that meant that, well, Luffy basically just had free reign and hit a lot of great nades for his team.
Anas are popping off so far, some big nanos to keep their teammates alive as well, but the big question is who is going to win our Stage 3? We checked in with everyone this morning on our Overwatch League Twitter.
Whoa.
And with the top 4 teams remaining in our semis, it was the Dragons coming out with 35% of the fan vote.
Okay, that is very surprising. In this match against
How's that surprising? You voted with all your 50 accounts on Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, in this match, I gave Titans the edge and I predicted them to win it. But, I mean, clearly the people think differently.
Well, I think that this guy's kind of hit it on the head, though, in terms of the public opinion. New York Excelsior were the #1 seed coming into it, and with the Shanghai Dragons looking so good taking them down, I feel like, you know, a lot of people have been hopping on the Dragons train.
I'm looking for more responses. So, how many alt accounts did you have? Just one? Let's be real, Vancouver have been dominant all year, full steam ahead. And then winging money. Dragons to finish their Season 1 redemption arc.
It
I
will
like
be a
that
redemption
storyline.
arc.
That would not
absolutely.
power.
That'd be real nice. They're number 8 overall. They're looking for a second upset. Can Shanghai win our next 2 maps in a row? It looked like the Titans figured them out in the second half of Numbani.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to map picks, I think. I mean, they've got Assault coming up. It's their map pick. I would take them towards Paris. The Titans have not looked that great on Paris. And
Take them to Volskaya.
I don't think so.
Why?
Why would you take them to Volskaya? because Dragons are so good there?
Yeah.
Possibly. I'd rather play into the Titans' weaknesses myself if I'm the Shanghai Dragons, rather than trying to play into what I perceive as our strengths, especially because as the series goes on, you're going to get the teams are going to adapt to each other more.
Let's be real, though. All our map predictions so far were atrocious.
We've got about 0 correct.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we know the Titans hate Paris. Maybe we'll see Paris coming up next, but the real question is, Blizzard Arena, are you guys enjoying the semifinals? Make some noise, because we got Game 3 coming up after this. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Justice reigns from above.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from the break. We just heard from our halftime crew. Lots of insight there, and lots of where are we going next. That's kind of the speculation that we ended on, which is going to be the map.
Yeah, of course, loser gets to pick the map. Team that didn't win gets to pick the map. But I don't know, this Vancouver team made some adaptations. They were playing, Stitch moved over to a different hero, Hawks moved over to a different hero.
Yeah.
It's not the first time these guys have played those heroes in the Diva and the Roadhog. They have played them at different tournaments, Apex most notably back in the day. So Vancouver is one of those teams that improvise, adapt, overcome, and they're showing it. That's what it takes to be a champion in the Overwatch League.
Do you think it's Stitch that's making all the plays right now, making the difference? Because he showed up with excellent Sombra play.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a second, what can kill a Pharah? A Roadhog. And then he plays a Roadhog great as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Stitch right now really stepping up.
Well, he had that giant flank hook as well to take out the Ana. He just had some really nice play. And then, you know, the people who fill the roles don't get enough credit. Like, hey, we need a Diva. Hawks is like, I got it.
Right.
You know, that's how I play my ladder games. That's how I'm a team player, as you know. But the debate was which map we're going to go to. Volskaya Industries will be the map we go to. Of course, Mr. Wilkinson said that he would take him to Paris. I kind of agree with that because Vancouver's looked weakest on Paris. But you say, play to your strengths, right?
That's my take on it. The map debate is old as sin in terms of like,
Yeah.
where do you go? Do you take it to your opponent's weaknesses, or do you play to your strengths? I'm in the strengths camp. I think,
Okay.
All right, maybe you can think, oh, we'll beat them on the other map, but it's like, take them to a map you practice on, you know you're effective on,
Yes.
and you know you're good on, and beat them there.
We have a
Seems like
plan.
That's what the Shanghai
Let's execute
Dragons
it.
chose to do.
Both these teams dominant on Volskaya so far in the Overwatch League 2019 season. So yet again, something's got to give. Someone's gonna lose Volskaya for the first time.
Sick, we're gonna find out now. And guys, this is it. This is the semifinal for the Stage 3 playoffs. What's on the line? Finals usually follow the semifinals, Hex.
Okay. Small variation here that they're gonna put Siomansu on the Sombra. He's not been great on it this year. He was running Zarya previously, so they're gonna run 3 tanks and a Sombra with a Moira Lucio on the ground here.
Interesting, a lot of healing. Able to get cranked out quickly by the Moira, and also the Moira, once again, can help to dodge those rockets. Huxall finds a kill on Youngjin, who is on the fist. Dig, close, not quite gonna find it though. And it seems like right now the Shanghai Dragons, you just gotta buy some time and wait until you get your fist back. It's been amputated, Hex, and now you've lost your main healer.
Stitch just finds him again, and you can see it in the play from Ding. He has to play so much more passive. He has to take different angles. They're making him more uncomfortable because he's got to find Stitch first. He's got to find where Stitch is, play around it. He can't get hooked, and then Stitch is just going to camp a body if he hooks him. He's not going to let that res go through. so far, Shanghai has not changed their composition to deal with the changes that Vancouver has made.
No, they are trying to run right in and keep going for the same style of execution. But we shall see how it all pans out as we are going to get the first ultimate combat coming through. The Lighthouse blazing forward, the next healing and damage cutting through everybody. Great support coming in from the Moira. They trade 1 for 1. Ding trying to get value from the barrage. Just wasn't enough. Losing Hawk Salt, well, that's the mech, and it goes into the self-destruct. He'll get a fresh mech, no problem. And it's the Shanghai Dragons who are getting picked off one after another.
I can't believe that res came off, but it doesn't matter. They punish it.
Vancouver Titans, they wanted a new wallet hex. Get those scales.
Yeah, sure, bring him back to life. I would appreciate adding all of that HP into my ultimate meter. Thank you very much for the donation to the Human Fund right there. Vancouver now has repelled this attack twice. 2 minutes left. That means 2 good pushes here for Shanghai, but they just used EMP. DM getting back up there. And now not a ton to work with. The question is, where does this nano boost go? Very likely onto Ding just to make him feel more comfortable. No need to try to charge up anyone else. Maybe DM gets it, but he's been charging so quickly, no need.
No, you're right. Now it's the push on the side, and there we go. Textbook stuff. Bumper jumps on through. Shield is there to protect him from the sleep dart. Looks like he would have taken a nap otherwise. And we've got Gamsu with the mines trying to create some space, and it is working so far. Stitch and Somansu down, and there's Bumper. Falls to the mines. Shanghai Dragons going to pick up this first point. There isn't a whole lot that the Titans can hope to do about it.
Well, now is the time for the snowball potential because Shanghai's able to win that with only committing the Mercy ultimate into that fight. They're looking to get in here as quickly as possible because they've got EMP. They've got EMP ready to go. Slime is in spawn and dead. He can't barrier post EMP. They gotta get him out here.
Gamsu not gonna be able to make it out of there intact. He was looking for it, and now is this an opening? Vancouver Titans, now you got Bumper going for the rival. Comes in for the last second contest, and it's not the supports that were gonna shut him down. The rest of the team need to be here for Shanghai. And it's just the Vancouver Titans with the instant, they just take it, Hex. They go for the fight, they use the sound barrier, they see their opening, Gamsu overextended, and they're taking full advantage.
Well, the question is now they're committing too much to this. They saw an opening because they only had 1 person on the point, so it was charging up very slowly. But now they've committed barrier. They've committed a great deal to this. Whole hog went in, not the biggest of ults, but is it worth it to buy the time is the question. We've seen this bite Vancouver in the past. We've seen it win the matches.
Oof, man, you got Huck's always got the self-destruct, and that's pretty much it.
The good thing is they did force out EMP, so it does cut down the snowball potential. Yes, they used ultimates, but they forced Shanghai into ultimates as well, so the reset comes in.
Oh, that's frustrating if you're Bumper. No fun allowed with the mines. Now, Gamsu, Bumper is going to try and clear him out. He's going to succeed there. And so far, the Vancouver Titans are holding their own. Shanghai Dragons not quite able to get it done. Mercy Wings are out for coma, so the extra healing and damage possible there for the Shanghai Dragons, but they need to find that big kill to kick things off. Ding over the top, working on the barrage, not far away from it. That could be that hammer blow to lay open the defense.
Wow, this is rough because Vancouver has to get a lot of heals going on now, and the EMP always going to be a threat.
Oh, EMP, there it is. Ding also with the barrage follow-up. Looking for targets, not going to find him. He got boosted too. A lot committed to this fight on the side of the Dragons. Twilight is there with the Coalescence though, trying to keep everybody up and doing a great job at it. Vancouver Titans, so far, they're hanging in this fight.
It's been too slow. They only got 1 in the EMP, and they're not going to kill. So with Luffy down, that might just be it. On defense, you don't need a lot to win fights. They're going to commit the grab. That's it. This one's over. They're not going to be able to come back. Coma goes for the gutsy res. Ends up spilling his guts on the point as they take him out.
It's bold play, Cot. Bold play.
Bold play, Cot. See how it works out for him. Spoiler, it does not.
It didn't, yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't.
3 minutes remain. Twilight gets DM on the exit.
That's interesting. How did that happen? Where did... how does a Moira punch a Sombra in the face?
Yeah, she's got like that kind of uppercut too with the nails.
Yeah,
it's actually a terrifying melee.
It's the uppercut and then grab the face and pull.
Hey, come on.
Just brutal. Just brutal.
All right. Good ultimates to work with here. They did have to invest grab during the last fight, but I'm fine with it just to ensure that you're able to win the fight. They've got Barrage, but that's about it to work for the Dragons offense. I believe they're just going to play a poke game, let DM get to EMP as he's charging very quickly now. You don't want to overcommit and lose before you get your EMP off.
Nice work from Bumper, trying to maintain that shield. He's only really worried about Ding right now. Sleep on the side, that's Stitch taking a nap. Gamsu trying to capitalize. Nades go down, but the bubble is there, keeping Stitch alive. Gamsu pinned in the corner right now, but it's looking like they're gonna hang in here. Bumper is hanging on by a thread himself, and there's the EMP follow-up, looking for it. Sound barrier committed. We trade 1 for 1. Both of the tanks are gone, but Gamsu gets res, so he'll keep up the fight. And now you got Ding, now you got DM coming in over the top. Might be enough here for the Shanghai Dragons. They gotta get it done quick.
It's a huge self-destruct though. Koma's out of it, so that is a small opening window here for Vancouver to come back. They're not on stall heroes just yet. Bumper's onto the Mei, trying to buy time. He does not get his ice block off.
Oh, this is tough. Now that's going to be 2 ticks. Nope. Contested at the last second. Whole Hog is out on the side of Stitch. He gets anti-heal naded though. The bio nade going to lay him out. Luffy finds that kill. We've got 4 alive right now for the Vancouver Titans. But right now the Shanghai Dragons are doing a good job of sticking together. The heals are there for the Dragons. 2 ticks of permanent progress picked up, and now they're right on the edge.
The stall's been great. The grab comes in, but there's no one there to follow up on it. It's just going to slow him down a little bit. Another minefield comes out.
Oh, this is all over the place. Hex, DM is there. Stitch is gone as well. They're dropping one after the other on the Titans. This is all about stall now. Going to be sub 1 minute though on the clock here for the Shanghai Dragons. And yes, we've passed it. So can they get it done now? It looks like it. Gamsu, oh man, Bumper just deletes him. And that's it. Shanghai Dragons get the job done. Both points picked up on Volskaya, but they had to work so hard for it, and it was scrappy at the end.
Very good stall there and getting the clock under a minute. Very good for the defense of the Vancouver Titans as they just refuse to say die. We're going to run back Volskaya when we return.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Apagando las luces. Justice reigns. Apagando las luces. This. Suiting up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Vancouver Titans able to complete their first offense. They were able, or first defense rather, Shanghai was able to get 2 points on Volskaya Industries. Both of these teams undefeated thus far on Volskaya Industries. That's likely going to change, but always an option for a draw here on these maps. See what the defense wants to run here. No surprises from the Shanghai defense. Going to be taken to the sky, going to run a Somber with it as well. Now it's up to the Vancouver Titans to see if they can adapt to this. They've made adaptations so far. Stitch has been playing a lot of Roadhog, harkening back to his old days. Bumper right now on the Hammond, but that's just a scout. He's going to go back to spawn. Get back in here momentarily. Bumper now goes over to his trademark Roadhog. A lot of highlight clips of Bumper taking people into the icy pond of Volskaya here somewhere.
Sure. I mean, he's wearing armor. I'm sure that's fully hermetically sealed. I'm actually always wondering, why does Reinhardt die when he goes to the drink like that? I mean, pressure shouldn't be a problem. Air shouldn't be a problem. The guy should be just fine.
It just sinks to the bottom. It's like how they dealt with Megatron.
Exactly, and then just stomps his way back up the top. Like, good, I needed a bath. But there we go. Vancouver Titans on the offense, 3 minutes on the clock, and now they've rotated around the high ground, taking that away, and they'll be on the point. So it's on the Shanghai Dragons. They're getting challenged, Hex. Come and fight us. And Bumper getting a bit of a fight. Maybe a bit too much for him. Slime goes down. We lose Coma, but Bumper's going to be next, and that should snuff this push for the Vancouver Titans.
And Jupiter is a good trade for Vancouver to be able to take down the Mercy there. That's always what you want to do, but Vancouver, they commit even when the fight seems all but lost. Coalescence comes in, they try to get the hack on it to stop it, it did not happen. So still looking to push here, another huge hook.
So
Goodbye,
clutch, so clutch. It's not missing a beat. And now they are still on this point. Their mines over the top. No bumper to save you this time. So much damage. Stitch, no way he survives it, gets nuked.
The anti-heal came down on him, turns his health bar purple. Crushes dreams, and that one should just be about it as Youngjin, support hero by the way, cleans up the mess.
Always you gotta get that one little comment in there. I agree with you. Vancouver Titans, that is a lot of time that has been burnt off the clock now. We will have to change up from bumper. We're gonna get that Winston in play instead of the Reinhardt. And now it's 2 minutes on the clock for the Vancouver Titans, and no permanent progress made on this first point.
Battle of the Hackers incoming again. Big EMP comes off, only catches 2, but catches the combo.
Oh, that was so sick. Wombo into it. Now Haksal with the self-destruct triple. We don't get to say that too often these days. He gets a 4th as well on Gamsu, and that's the Vancouver Titans. Just when you think, hey, the Shanghai Dragons, they're holding on. They're doing a good job.
EMP in his self-destruct is brutal. No one can really use abilities to get away. They were able to nerf the combo in the sky, and somewhere backstage in the Vancouver Titans dugout, Johnny was smiling. That's usually his kill feed right there, but Haksal has stepped up to the plate on this diva. See the angle he took here.
Exactly. This is live, but it's just chucked right over the top. And it's going to be in the room on the high ground there as well. Anywhere that you're usually trying to hide on that point just gets blasted out. Sick play, well executed there by Haksal. And the Vancouver Titans now with 5 minutes in the bank pushing onto the second point. They're looking good. Shanghai Dragons still have that barrage in play though. Ding could still be the hero here to stop the progress of the Titans.
They barrier early, but now those shields, the overheals are gone. Stitch able to take down Gamsu, but that's a trade. Trades now favor the defense rather than the offense. That's how Assault works.
Oh, it is. And while that is exactly what's going to happen here for Shanghai Dragons, the wings have come out, and that's the only ult pretty much apart from the mines. So 2 ultimates used here from the Shanghai Dragons on the defense. They're going to have 4 ready and waiting for the Titans for the next round.
Vancouver would have considered that a win if they were able to get the EMP out of DM. That's not going to be the case, so now we're back to what was about to happen previously. EMP versus EMP. If you can get that Sombra in the EMP, you can almost win the fight because you have enough time to kill everybody else that by the time your team gets counter-EMP'd, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So the push in now for the Titans. Bumper pretty happy to be on that Winston. He can actually go up now instead of just straight in. Looking for the EMP, gonna go for it. Gets hacked on the side of Somitsu. 1 is in, and this is going to be the Vancouver Titans. It's just not going their way whatsoever. They got wiped out. Trying to make the play happen there, perhaps a little telegraphed.
Yet another 5-man EMP from DM. He's been hitting them all day. And the tragedy there is that Xiaominsu also used his EMP. So now a full reset there. Xiaominsu looks like he wants to get off of the Sombra now. He's gonna go McCree. This can actually be a very good McCree map. It really can be. If you get all your tanks in there, especially your dive tanks up front, no one's gonna be able to deal with him in back. He can sit back, and if he can deal with that Pharah early on, then it just becomes a shooting gallery for McCree.
He's getting on that high ground, but now, yep, he's going to be exposed to some damage. It's also a potential answer for the Sombra with that flash bang, the stun on DM. That could turn things around. So let's see, is someone still going to be able to get comfortable? It's a body shot, but that's not going to be enough to collect a kill. Bumper, in the meantime, is going primal in the back line, and Ding, nope, not going to happen for Somitsu. He's dead. Sent back to spawn on that McCree. So hard to get in here. Koma goes down, but this is still decent here for the Shanghai Dragons. They're all tippy top. Full health, and once again, the mines go down.
They made that exact same play last time in the exact same spot. However, last time Bumper was the one to save Stitch, who got slept in Minefield on. He used his Shatter to clear the mines. Not gonna happen there, and now they make the switch. I think Stitch being on the McCree is a smarter play, but he had the Roadhog ultimate, so they didn't make that switch then. Xiaominsu's gonna go over to a Brigida. It's been musical chairs for the Vancouver Titans today.
It's all over the place, but Somitsu looking out from behind the bars now. He's like, this isn't what I subbed in for! But you gotta do what you gotta do to get the win here, Vancouver Titans. You got 2.5 minutes on the clock. Time to get in there and get to work, but the Shanghai Dragons, they've got ults ready and waiting, and DM could definitely be the one to ruin their day with that EMP. Pointed it out earlier, Hex, but he is so consistent at hitting multiple targets with it. Well, Stitch, don't worry. Nobody's judging. Spicy headshot to kick things off.
Literally everyone is judging. What are you talking about?
Looking for it, Gamsu squeaking his way back into safety, and Bumper goes down at the hands of Ding. Over the top.
And the problem is they're not even bleeding ultimates out of the Shanghai Dragons. Dragon's still holding on to everything that they want. Yeah, Rally gets used. We all know what Rally is. You just hit it when you have it. Smash Q, you'll get it again soon enough. And sometimes you still have armor for the next fight. It will decay over 30 seconds, but not the biggest a deal. You still have EMP, you still have Barrage, you still have support ultimates, you're all set.
Now, tell us, X, is this Zen switch, is this for the Discord orb to be able to try and put some more pressure on the Far Mercy?
I've always been baffled with people like, just switch McCree and take down these 2 heroes. It's like, it's 1v2, give me some help. You have the Discord part of the combo, and then maybe hit shots.
DM still just hanging out. Could go for the EMP. Instead, it's just going to be getting it done the old-fashioned way. Why not? You got Ding with the barrage. 2 kills and limbs flying everywhere. Just brutal. And that's the worst worst nightmare there for Twilight. You got a Sombra shooting you in the back, and then all of a sudden it's a surprise moment from Ding.
Well, they use the Nano, they use the Barrage, but they still have EMP. Very much a fight-winning ultimate.
And we are at 50 seconds on the clock now for the Vancouver Titans. They now have less time in the bank than the Shanghai Dragons do on their offense. The Shanghai Dragons, they have completely locked it down on the second point of Volskaya.
Now they can complete an overtime and still get another crack at this, but this is their last good fight. Twilight comes up big, Ding goes down. Is the resurrection there? I didn't see exactly where he died. Dies unresable spot.
Unresable spot, but he didn't have a barrage. He'll be able to get back in this fight quick enough. Rest of the team are here looking for it. Oh, clutch sleep from Luffy. Other side of the map, no problem, Stitch. Take a nap. He's out of it. No ult to be found there. Rally used by Youngjin, and the wings are off for Koma. Koma trying to go for the res, and he's going to do it. Luffy's brought back into the fight. There's DM with the EMP over the top. Vancouver Titans feeling the pressure now. They're down to 10 seconds on the clock.
Slime keeping his team in it, though. He hit that huge barrier, keeps everybody alive, and the kills keep rolling for Vancouver.
Oh, buddy, now are we going to get into stun? How do they ever turn this around? Now it's getting a bit out of control. On the edge, we need a contest. Last second coming in. That's Gamsu trying to be the hero. He gets ejected, and the Vancouver Titans, just like that. A rough start to the push, but they get it done, Hex.
Twilight impressed all year on the Zenyatta, was giving Jonak a run for his money, gave Jonak a run for his money on the Ana as well. And even though the high noon turned into a siesta, Vancouver Titans able to get that one done. They tie it up. Do you like Volskaya? I like Volskaya. We have more Volskaya. Don't go anywhere.
We are back. The Vancouver Titans, they snuck it in the end. Hex, they came out of the blizzard and just took that second point completely by surprise at the bitter end. Right now, this is Twilight with a bit of a replay from his perspective. This is the pick to kick things off, just predicting the angle, and that's just a tough break for Ding to kick it off. I mean, you're just coming around that corner, you're blind, you have no idea what's waiting for you.
And it's hard to res that because it's too far out. If you try to res it, then you lose your mercy and it's all over, so that's the gamble that you have to play there. But it's really important that they were able to stall out on Shanghai's first push. They got him under a minute because now they get another attack. 152 in the bank, Vancouver with only 42 seconds on their offense, so you got to find something here. It's not even really enough time to get ultimates up.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. Get onto the point and just hope that Ding isn't going to completely ruin your day.
In fact, the only ultimate that might come up is Twilight's Coalescence, one of the fastest charging ultimates of the game, 60 plus going up now. They might be waiting for it. They only have one push. They know this. One push.
You gotta make it count. You gotta make it count. Twilight just ended rocket though. Gamsu! Where does Gamsu go down in this? How does that happen? Vancouver Titans with an opening now.
I think he got hacked. He was looking like he was not in ball form, just kind of limping around the corner. He gets taken out. Stitch is able to take down Youngjin. Looking very good.
This is looking so good now for the Vancouver Titans.
You can Coalescence here if you want, just to make sure, but I don't think they need it.
You lock it down, Hex, but now they get 1, 2 ticks, and there's no answer for the Shanghai Dragons. Yeah. Vancouver Titans are gonna get a chance at 4 points here on Volskaya.
They're gonna reset, and now we're in the ultimate phase of the game. Ding is gonna have Barrage, Stitch, and DM tied up there. You can open with Coalescence here, actually, because that's an ult you can throw away. It's just Slime has to save his, knowing that they're going to get EMP'd at some point in this long fight.
So, Gamsu over the top, trying to initiate. There's the Coalescence. Huxall doesn't save him. He got naded, so he's out of his mech. No help there from him. Stitch still working for the EMP, and Gamsu with the mines over the top. He's going to survive. Sound barrier used, just trying to clear it up. You need some progress on this point. They've got one tick so far for the Vancouver Titans, and it's the Shanghai Dragons. They get EMP'd, fair enough, 2 of them, but they still survive. Never mind, Ding gets picked, and that's the barrage out of the picture.
Oh, they get the gutsy res off, though. He's back in the fight.
Unbelievable. Now DM is there. Yeah, point blank, barrage, 2 kills just like that. That's going to open it up, and this is as far as the Vancouver Titans are going to go. 49.3% progress on the second point of Volskaya, but that is still so solid, Hex. And they started that offense with a minute.
Yeah, you can attribute nearly all of that 49% to Bumper using the Coalescence and Primal Rage at the same time. They Coalescence to open it. Bumper gets everybody shoved all the way back into the corner, knocks everyone off the point, and it's a game about progress, not a game about kills. So they started with so little time in the bank, take first point, take a decent amount of progress on second. They were playing for the long game. Look, we're probably not going to take the second point. Really difficult on assault maps for the offense to take second points. But if we just get progress, then we've got something to build towards here. Uses Primal, everybody off it, they get 50%.
49.3, but you know, who's nitpicking here?
You are. You clearly do.
Vancouver Titans, though, all right, they're definitely looking a bit more focused. Bumper zeroed in. They know their job. They're going to get it done. It's on the Shanghai Dragons now, and what do we got in store for us here? On the offense. And, well, because they're on the offense, they can go for the switches at the very end. Yeah. So we're not going to know what they're going to run.
We do know the defense, though. It is going to be Winston Diva, Zarya to be the tank line. Twilight, loving Moira life because he doesn't die as much as he did on the Ana on the first couple maps. And then Stitch is going back to that Sombra. 152 in the bank for the offense. I don't think we're going to see a lot of huge switches. Ding is going to run Pharah. That's a guaranteed. DM could run several different heroes. Widow, Sombra. I think Sombra's a good choice here. And then Youngjin's always the wild card. Brigitte ends up being.
Brigitte is going to be it. Okay, so we will have some of that crowd control, a little bit of help there for Luffy to keep him alive. And, well, they are still moving in, and, yep, high in the sky, chucking rockets in. It's going to be Ding, and Vancouver Titans, look at this. Look at how high he is. How do you even approach this? The guy doesn't care, Hex. He's just floating along, having a good one. Oh, well, that could have been an opportunity, but it is just barely missed out. DM going to be able to translocate out of harm's way.
Yeah, Stitch just applying a little bit of pressure right now, trying to build up his ultimate.
That's the thing. Eventually, you're going to have to try and set up a hard point. Yep, there it is. Gamsu gets the barrier down. Bumper initially, just immediately wastes no time. Tries to get the pressure on. Does not want to let Gamsu get comfortable there and let his team set up around him. Youngjin hanging on. Gamsu as well, but this is just making life so hard for Luffy. Somehow Luffy keeps up with it, though. None of them go down. Huxos gets Team Mex, though. That's not going to help things. There's the anti-heal nail coming in the top, and that's going to be the Vancouver Titans getting wiped.
The halt into the Bionade. They all get stuck together. They all get anti-heal. Turning purple. No amount of Moira healing is going to stop that one. And this will be Shanghai collecting their third point. 49.3% of progress is what they're looking at for the next point to take the lead in this series. First to 4, we're tied up 1-1 in our semis. Stitch at 80% of his EMP. DM's already there. Very small window, but they can exploit this.
He can take advantage of it. DM, yep, he knows what his job is. He's already on the hunt. Already looking into the high ground. Could be coming in over the top for the EMP to try and initiate on this. Does not want to get drawn out of stealth just yet. Vancouver Titans, though, there's the rally. And there's the go signal. A hack on Luffy to kick things up. But all of the ults getting used here by the Shanghai Dragons. Gamsu with the bomb goes down. Pumping up that damage. Huxall gets deleted immediately. Ding still hanging out. Not going to be able to get it. He does get boosted, but he's still waiting to be able to actually use the barrage. Could just close the door on him right here over the top.
4 people EMP, but there's no follow-up. The counter EMP, but they're off of the point!
Shanghai Dragons, that shocks us all. Don't even know what to say. That was so quick. 4 points to 3. They get the job done, and they continue to take the lead in this series, 2-1 over the Vancouver Titans, who right now are looking stunned. We'll be right back with the next map of the series after this break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Justice reigns from above.
Welcome back, everybody. During halftime, I got to talk to Vancouver Titans, and the team told me the coaching staff had actually prepared a lot for the semifinals matchup, but most of their strategies did not work as expected in the first half of the series. After Shanghai's successful attack on Numbani, it was actually Twilight's idea to start playing 4 tanks and have Stitch on Roadhog, and according to the team, they felt comfortable having Stitch on Hog because he previously have proved himself as a great Hog player with reaching 4,600 SR on that hero. The Shanghai Dragons managed to win Volskaya and now are up 2-1, but let's see if Vancouver can bring it back on their own map pick coming up next. But for now, though, let's head back to Sumler and Hex.
Thank you, Danny. And yes, this is going to be the question. Vancouver Titans, they're in the losing seat again here, Hex. That's an odd feeling for them. They're not used to that, but it means that they get to pick the next map. And that's where it gets fun. Where do they take it next? What's the next battle?
I'm just baffled. 4,600 SR. Everyone knows SR stops at 3,200, right? Right, that's the highest SR possible. I mean, that's where I've gotten. Yeah, it's really interesting to see that they're coming in and then like the Twilight's making the calls. He's been this in-game leader, and so let's actually take a look at what happened here on Volskaya towards the end. They get EMP'd, 4 people EMP'd for Shanghai, no cleanup there. Bumper's hanging out on the point. Everyone else kind of pushed off. The halt comes, grabs a couple, and Bumper is off the point. Everyone else hacked.
Yeah.
It just can't happen. It just can't happen. And the thing is, I think a lot of people start forgetting, like, oh, it's Volskaya, let's just hold on this point. But you forget you're in overtime sometimes, and it's at only 50%. Look, Shanghai notoriously forgot they were in overtime earlier this year on Dorado and just stepped off the cart. That was the Shang 9 of the ages right there. So they know what it's like, but that's kind of a gift-wrapped victory for Vancouver. But the thing is, you have to have a short memory. You got to let it go. It doesn't matter if that map's over. What's the next map?
It's the name of the game for the competition, but it means that this gentleman here is going to get to a second crack at it, Hex. Played in the first map, got subbed out immediately for Somin-Su, but Janu is back in. Somin-Su back on the bench. Janu now, we're going to get to see him play. What do you think Vancouver Titans are trying to do here with this substitution?
Well, I think Haxel has not looked super comfortable on the Diva, and I think Janu is their Diva specialist here, as they want to maybe still run a lot of tanks, but it's just that Haxel has not looked great on it, so they're probably going to put him back on Brig. Of course, on Havana, it's a map that a lot of teams are very comfortable running a standard 3-3 composition in, or a 3-2-1 of the Sombra. But I think Haxel was getting D-mech'd first a lot, and that's one of the reasons that DM always had EMP a little bit faster, is he was hacking Haxel and taking him out. So that's a big health pool going over. So now Haxel's going to go back to his Brigitte role that he's been a little more comfortable on. They're not going to run a Zarya, I guess, in this comp. So Janu coming in is very likely, he's mostly just been their Diva specialist. He's played a little Zarya too if they want to switch it up.
Exactly, that's it. He has played a little bit of Zarya. There are some options here. But right now, Vancouver Titans, they're in the uncomfortable position that they are definitely not used to feeling, which is, hey, you're on the losing side here. You need to figure out what is going to work and what's going to get you back into this game. And so far, Vancouver Titans on the offense as well. They're not really going to get a chance to breathe because DM was hitting headshots all day long on Numbani earlier and Ilios. Now we're going to get to see him play it again. So uncomfortable times here for the Vancouver Titans. You see Stitch, this was the attempted answer to the Pharah earlier on Volskaya. He's got the McCree back in play.
I mean, it's at the very least hitting these shots will keep them honest. Twilight going over to the Baptiste. An interesting play there, but also can help out into the sky, but TM's hitting shots again.
Look at all these annoying shields in the way for him as well. Just so frustrating if you're McCree. You got nobody to shoot at. The only guy you can shoot at is Ding up in the sky, but then he just ducks right back down below the roof. So, yep, Stitch, we're gonna see a change coming up. And it's gonna be the Hog. Okay, so we will have the Hog. We saw how effective he was on it, so I mean, come on, the guy is a monster with it. This could be, yep, catching him by surprise. Ding, not gonna get caught off guard, quickly switches it up. Out of harm's way for now. Collapse on a Gamsu. Gamsu under pressure. Good focus fire coming out here from the Vancouver Titans. But Luffy, once again, huge pile nade goes in. Oh, and that's so perfect, Ding. Just wreaking havoc.
He has done so much work with this Ana ability all throughout the day. The nades have been there every single time. I believe in the first map on Control, at one point he had 5 nade eliminations just with the bio nade, but it puts Vancouver in a terribly uncomfortable position. Yeah, you have a lot of great healing from Moira. When you're running this composition, your Moira heals a ton. But you can't heal people when they're bio-naded, and everyone's been purple so often.
Yeah, now they're even trying to find the different ways around here. Vancouver Titans, they're just getting pummeled, and Ding is just going to be hanging out. He could have tried to barrage combo that with the bongos, but he's playing it patient because, yep, you got Luffy with the nano boost here.
You want to nano barrage this, maybe that lets your Pharah live through it. Stick with a nice kill, and now they just find themselves out of position. Vancouver, with the wraparound, has forced Shanghai into a very odd spot.
This is the spot where you die as fast as possible and you go back to spawn.
Yeah.
That's the name of this spot, Hex. It's not a comfortable spot.
Well, I mean, the Pharah Mercy should be able to get out here if they just back up, use some of your movement abilities to rotate back around. The architecture of the map might allow it. They are still alive. They're not resetting.
Still so far out of position. I mean, you're going to eventually catch up, but look at all this progress that's being made now by Vancouver.
But look how long it took them to get to this point. There's only 90 seconds on the clock. That's a great forward hold.
90 seconds, into it we go. Gamsu's made the change, he's on the ball now. A little bit of a hook, oh, into the open, hoping to capitalize with the rest of his team. Instead, Gamsu's gonna be able to roll his way out of there, and once again, Luffy coming up with the goods. The bio-nade, he's just not missing. It's so much pressure put on the Vancouver Titans backline.
And there's just not enough healing now with only a Lucio on the field. Lucio's great for a lot of things, but healing up a massive amount of bodies, not generally thought of as his biggest strength.
Who's ready to drop the bodies? Well, I guess Gamsu is. I was gonna say Ding, because he's just up here like a hawk, ready to plummet down and drop the barrage.
They've got everything. Infrasight, they're gonna wait for Stitch to get back into this. This is Vancouver's time to shine. Big hammer.
There it is, you're going for it. D-Matrix was there though, well done. Good dodge on the side of Ding. He's forcing the pressure out from the Vancouver Titans. That's the slime barrier, or the barrier used by slime. Grav is thrown in as well, but that's just Youngjin chilling out. He's getting supported here by Luffy, who's just cranking the heels into him. Slime solos Diem, but the Vancouver Titans still under pressure, and Ding is still in here chucking rockets.
It's a lot of pressure, and they used everything. Minefield can come out. There's a self-destruct on the other side. That's it. That's all they got.
Oh, this is so frustrating. Bumper is just getting knocked around all over the place. He has nowhere to go out in the open like this. Ding still hanging around at range right now, still chucking rockets in. Possible for the contest. Yep, Mines over the top. There's Gamsu looking for the slam, and now he's going to get the rest of his team involved in this fight as well. Not quite going to get it. Does he survive this? Unreal. Darts back around the corner, and he's still in the fight.
Diem's back in here. He's on a perch looking for angles. He's got eyes, but Youngjin's the first to fall.
What is this? Nobody refuses to die in these fights at all. Ding, once again, the hero, takes down Huxall. No bubbles left here for the Vancouver Titans. The damage gone as well. You lose Koma, but you still got Luffy. And I mean, he's still got that boost out, just used it.
Another enormous anti-heal led to those 2 kills. Another enormous anti-heal, both tanks, now purple, and Ding is capitalizing.
Oh, he's doing such a great job.
There's no heals.
Gamsu helping out as well. Twilight out in the open, trying to get in position to help his teammates, and instead he's the one who ends up going down, and Luffy just refuses to let any of his teammates die. Unreal holds coming in here from the Shanghai Dragons. We're into overtime now. Drive-by, sleep dart, and the Vancouver Titans. Hex, they didn't even get a single point.
8 biotic grenade kills from the Ana in red. What a breakout performance. So much focus on these damage dealers, but you can't do damage if you're dead. Luffy's had such a burden on him trying to keep everybody alive in this chaos composition where everybody's everywhere, and he is crushing.
What outstanding play from the Shanghai Dragons. And really going into it, I mean, you have to say that the Titans, they're the favorites. But right now, it's looking like it's the other way around. Shanghai Dragons are in total control of the situation, and the pressure is on now for the Vancouver Titans to find an answer. They only got 7 kills on that offense, Hex. That's not a whole lot to work with.
There was a reason that everybody was so excited for these Stage 3 playoffs. Not only do we have varied compositions, identities, true stylistic choices coming out of these teams, but if you looked from 1 seed to 8 seed, you could make a realistic 50% chance that anybody could win this one, and the Dragons, the 8th seed in our Stage 3 playoffs, are showing up huge.
Could be taking down the big dog of the group, the Vancouver Titans.
No, we're just rolling through. We're just going to take down New York, maybe Vancouver. I don't know, stage 3 playoffs. Maybe we'll beat the Shock.
That big of a takedown now? I mean,
no, New York had their own issues. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk
about it. Playoffs. Come on, New York. There's a pigeon.
Yeah, it's pigeon pie. It's like one of those little, like, kind of...
Mama, is that you? No. Okay, that got dark fast.
That got really dark really fast.
Vancouver Titans on the defense. So we're going to get to talk a little bit about that. Got to change the subject real quick. Stitch with the Widow. And we've got the double sniper set up here for the Vancouver Titans. Janu is going to be the one playing the Hog. As far as Shanghai Dragons are concerned, once they get eyes on this, curious to see. You've got DM and Ding. DM is going to want this dance. He's going to be like, right, shall we go at it?
Well, not a whole lot needs to be done for the Shanghai offense here. You see the yellow marker at the top of your screen. That's it. That's all they have to push towards progress-wise. Double sniper both sides here, so now this one's just a battle. A lot of shield pressure with the Storm Arrow. It's the first time that Janu's been on the Hawk for the Vancouver Titans as the musical chairs continue.
Nap time.
And he'll sit this one out for a little bit.
Once again, Luffy with the sleep.
Oh, the hook!
There it is. Halt hook combo. Youngjin as well goes down.
Fine. You take that trade every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
What is going on here, Hex? This is all over the place. Now Koma goes flying into his death. DM still taking this fight. One body shot, looking for the follow-up over the top. They're right on the doorstep. They're so close to pulling it off.
Janu boosted.
He's got the last second chance, but it's not going to be enough. Now it's on Bumper. He's gone for the hog, but the mid-air shot. DM dropping bodies. And while there's Stitch striking right on back, it's tit for tat between these two teams. The defense so far is holding out despite it all. And the Dragon just chucked in for good measure.
If you looked up Clown Fiesta in the dictionary, this fight would show up right now. This has been nuts!
Another one. Halt, hook, Youngjin gets the kill. Ding is out though, and they are just, this is sloppy. This is getting all over the place, Hex. That was a scrappy fight. 2 minutes 20 on the clock, and Shanghai Dragons are just a couple meters away from pulling off the win.
Now Bumper gets the last couple of kills. Who would have thought Bumper's the one bringing sanity to a matchup? All right, offensively for Shanghai. They have the Valkyrie, and I think this is going to be a preemptive Valk because a Valkyrie Mercy is a very difficult target to hit. So you drop that in there. You let Gamsu get a frontline position, drop down the Supercharger. There it is.
Yeah, Supercharger's there. Everybody's going to get boosted up, and now this is where DM can really reign supreme. What are you going to do if this guy's hitting you? Stitch, that's a way. That's an answer. Gets a headshot on DM. Stops him cold. Stitch really just taking the fight to him. Single-handed trying to hold it out here for the Vancouver Titans. We've lost Slime on the side of the Titans, but he'll be back in this fight quick enough. And right now, the Shanghai Dragons trying to pace themselves until that happens. There's the opening. Stitch, Hawksaw, everybody, this is a wipeout. The Vancouver Titans getting run over, and the Shanghai Dragons, they're doing it, Hex. 3-1 over the Vancouver Titans. Next map, we could have the Shanghai Dragons going to the grand finals if they get the job done there.
Just came down to individual duels. Ding took out Haxel, Hanzo v Hanzo. DM took down Stitch, Widow v Widow. The mechanics for Shanghai showing up. They're practiced on these heroes. This is where they're comfortable in the midst of the chaos. Shanghai Dragons are on match point. See you next map when we return.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, the Shanghai Dragons, 3-1. Now, in the regular season, that would be it. Done and dusted. It would be a massive win over the Vancouver Titans. But because we're in the semifinals of the playoffs, it's first to 4. So right now, the Shanghai Dragons, it's match point hex. That's where they stand. If they get the job done on the next map, they're going to the finals.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised. As much as we said there's definitely upset potential based on the styles that these teams play, they've looked pretty dominant. I mean, to hold Vancouver to not even a point on Havana, we rarely ever see that unless it's the second part that we're doing of Havana. But my goodness, they have looked so strong. They win their individual matchups, their individual duels, and now it's kind of like the old Chengdu of like, you want to try to play against us in the style that we pioneered, that we've been playing for an entire stage, then we're just going to be better on it. And you can't just pick up a Widow and expect to go against Diem. You can't just pick up Hanzo and expect to go against it. Like, they know what they're doing. They played against it. My God, they look really, really good right now.
I'm just doing, like, Shanghai team. I've got Diem's impression in my head right now. You come onto my turf?
Yeah.
My turf, try to play?
Look, Diem beat his good friend Carpe to get into the playoffs in Atlanta.
Right. It's Diem Carpe now.
It's Diem Carpe now. I don't know what that translates into Latin. I'm not going to attempt it. But, wow, he has looked great. And I think that the biggest breakout for me is just how good this handsome fellow has looked as well. The Ana play has been spectacular. The Bionades are there. They're following it up. And then it's just, Gamsu just doing what needs to be done. He hasn't even really had to play like Reinhardt or Winston. He's playing the weird tanks, air quotes. I'm not on camera. You didn't see it. There were air quotes. But he's playing Hammond. He's playing Orisa. The Halt and Hooks have been there. Like, this team just looks clean right now.
Yeah, they're looking dialed in.
I don't know about clean, but they're winning in the chaos. They thrive in the chaos.
There was nothing clean about that last fight on Havana.
Yeah.
That was definitely chaotic to the point where it was hard to cast because you're just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Right. Diem's just headshotting everything. But now we're going to take a look at Ding's stats. As far as he's gone on this Pharah, he really has stuck pretty much the entire time on Pharah. He's just non-stop beasted him.
Going to be selling a lot of those red Pharah skins. Although, tactical, do you really want to be red in Overwatch? Seems like you're just a flying target right there. But hey, if you can play like Ding, it doesn't really matter. That's a good-looking skin anyway. But these final blows, barrage kills. I mean, he made Vancouver switch. It was the first 2 maps where he just went after Twilight, non-stop, solo barraged him all the time, and then Twilight had to switch. Twilight called an entire different composition change in the halftime after the first 2 maps because he was tired of getting dunked on by the Pharah. So he said, we're changing everything up. Full reset, everything's changing. And then Vancouver looked a little better, and then Havana just happened. So Ding is redefining the game.
Hex.
They're bringing it to them.
I just glanced back at the stage. You want to know what Vancouver are doing? When it gets completely out of control, go back to what actually allowed you to dominate in the first 2 stages.
Yeah.
That seems to be the answer because we've got Summon-Su getting subbed in for Stitch. We're back to the starting 6.
This is the 6 that had rolled through Stage 1 and Stage 2 without a single match loss. They won our Stage 1 playoffs, fell in a nail-biter to Shock in the Stage 2 playoffs, but only suffered their first regular season loss in the Overwatch League in this Stage 3. And now we have to go back to Control, which has been a bit of a bugaboo for Vancouver. And for these three squads, DPS can play very well on Control maps. Lucky roll here for the Titans, as University is a decent map if you want to run 3 tanks and 3 supports.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of force it if you're on the side of the Titans, and it's looking like that's exactly what they're going to go back to. The tried and true Ana 3-3. As far as Shanghai Dragons are concerned, all the things. Get the fist in there. Why not, Youngman?
Again, first to 4 to make it to the finals. We'll find out who will make it to the finals after both our semis today. Shanghai on match points, on Control, bringing the chaos, bringing the fist.
This is sick. The potential here for the picks. But Shanghai Dragons, first time they played Control, it was on Ilios. They cleanly won it 2-0 over the Vancouver Titans to start off the series. So now it's a question of them ending it, bookending the series with a Control win. And we'll see if they can do it just as clean, or if the Vancouver Titans, if they're going to get into their comfort zone again. They're like, right, enough of trying to adapt to what our opponents are trying to do. Now it's time to play to our strengths, and let's go, boys. Hawksall stunned, focus is there on Youngjin. Barely darts out of time.
Anti-heal, trying to get out. He gets healed up right now, so still back into this. No Control taken just yet. Ding gets the first pick on a Twilight. I've seen this before.
I have seen this before. This is a bit of a record that's on repeat, just going in circles and circles. And Shanghai Dragons without Twilight. Vancouver Titans cannot withstand the pressure, and the Shanghai Dragons will pick up first Control. So good on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but they're just sitting there like, right, Twilight, you want to be on Ana again? Well, what happened to you the first time you did this?
My question is, who's ever going to pressure Luffy? who's ever going to get back there to pressure Luffy. He's just going to sit all day, hit darts, heal everybody up. It's like he's in a single player game. Just clicking targets. Oh, you need heals, you need heals, you need heals. Everybody gets heals. EMP about online for DM as well.
He's still looking for the focus. Youngjin goes down though. That's not gonna help things. Keeping eyes on Ding. Yep, looking for the boost. There's the boost over the top. Res goes off on Youngjin as well. We've lost Sominsu for the Titans. That's no good. Bumper hanging on, but not for long. Youngjin's gonna escort him back to spawn. And the Vancouver Titans, just like that, they've used both of their support ultimates on the Shanghai Dragons side, but it's still a one fight. Oh, so close.
Well, that answers the question of who's going to take care of him. But Shanghai is so creative in how they get these resurrections done because they need a res going on because Youngjin went very aggro. That's his role, totally fine. But then the EMP, and that just puts the fear in him. You're not going to be able to come out and contest with EMP. And if you want to come out and contest, they're going to kill you anyway because there's no shields. And then they get the resurrection up, full fighting force, 60% and counting up for Shanghai.
And a big old goose egg on the board there for the Vancouver Titans. They're looking to change that now. Rally used by Haksal, but he's only going to get greeted by mines. That's no fun for him. And there it is, the barrage, point blank, instant death. 2 dead for the Titans, just like that. Could be a parting shot, a parting third here. Twilight doing the best he can to try and get out of harm's way, but it's just not going to happen. You're gone.
They slept Bumper, and yeah, a barrage will go through a shield eventually, but you'd like that shield up so they can matrix and shield and maybe block some of it. Bumper gets slept, barrage comes through and crushes, absolutely, 90% and counting, and they've got EMP to hold on to.
Yeah, they've got EMP. You could go for the meteor strike here as well. Youngjin trying to figure it out. Yep, Twilight's there. Let's go on. Sound barrier has been used by the Vancouver Titans. They are still dangerously low, and now Twilight, this is unreal. This guy's just not allowed to play the game. Youngjin instant focus. DM's gonna get brought back to life as well. Bumper with the Hail Mary. Shatter catches Luffy in the open though, so there's still a chance here for the Vancouver Titans to turn it around. No ults yet for the Shanghai Dragons to use. They're hanging on by a thread, and that's gonna be it. Bumper takes down Youngjin. 2-man advantage now for the Vancouver Titans, and it's going to just get worse from there. The Shanghai Dragons, they're not gonna get it done clean, Hex.
It's fine to reset. Overtime is where Vancouver does end up thriving here. DM, a late pick onto him, gonna slow things down just a little bit. He was trying to be aggressive so he can build up to the next EMP. And good for the Titans that their economy say their Slime has done his best to keep this team in the game because he's hit clutch barrier after clutch barrier all day. It just hasn't been enough. Bumper, the Shatter was nice late, but they didn't have to use anything else, which is good. They still have Grab, they still have their big impactful ultimates here.
That they do. Still some answers here on the side of the Dragons. But oh, Youngjin gets slept to kick off the fight. There's Gamsu with the nades over the top as well. Drops him right into it. That's a bit of damage dealt in Bumper. He's got to keep that shield up. Gamsu though, solo grab on him. He gets deleted. But you lose Slime in the back line to Youngjin, so they're trading back and forth.
Still the poke war now as they do even up just a little bit. Youngjin's got the Diva isolated. They've got him tried to pick off in that corner.
Looking at right now is that we're crossing the 50% mark for the Vancouver Titans. Another good fight for them, and this could be done. Let's see, Bumper in there. There's the EMP over the top. Barrage boosted straight in. 1 kill, looking for 2. Gonna find a third as well. Janu, he's got no answer. Oh, well, he does. It's the self-destruct over the top, but they flip the point in the meantime, and the fadeaway rocket. Get out of here, Shanghai Dragons. They're on match point, Hex.
Match round. The EMP was perfect. It only got 2, but the 2 it got was Bumper and Janu. No shields, no matrix, nothing. That's a barrage reigning free, and that's the smile of a man who was able to barrage and live to tell the tale. My goodness!
They're staring down the barrel, Hex. They are staring down the barrel. No grin on Bumper's face today.
Another good roll, though. Like, City Center is the worst against Afara. Afara dominates that map. So they do get to go to Garden, which is still can be good.
Still can be good.
For 3 tanks, 3 supports, which is what Vancouver has gone back to. But Shanghai says, oh, you wanna run Twilight and Ana again? Awesome.
Yep, we will make it our goal to snuff them every single time. Now the Shanghai Dragons, this is it. Match point, the finals. 1 point away. And what a story it's been for the Shanghai Dragons. They have turned it around on this team. So the Vancouver Titans now, we have had Sominsu go for a change. He's going to be on the Hog. No Zarya in play here. And Bumper's going to be on the Winston to give that elevation game. As far as the setup is concerned, now it's going to be go time. The point unlocks, and now it's time to get into the fight. Over the top they go. Youngjin, the focus fire, too good. That stun lasts forever. Or at least it feels like it lasts an eternity. because Youngjin, he couldn't do anything. Gamsu just going to be contesting. He is getting good support here from Luffy, but this is going to be the Vancouver Titans picking up first control.
It's a nice kill there to make sure that they have to get back. Homa goes down. So, Youngjin, you had your one chance on Doomfist. Back to the brig. You kind of have to run it here. I mean, he got stunned out. It's really tough. It's not the greatest point. It's a little too big to always make sure you're connecting with walls to make sure you're getting the kill. So,
right.
Not that surprising.
Oh no, Gamsu barely makes it out.
It's a nice hack. That's going to be a lot of charge going to that EMP, but Gamsu does get taken down. There goes Luffy.
Whoa, but DM, he's going to have the EMP for the next fight. We could have the EMP barrage combo going in here. So 36% and counting for Vancouver Titans.
Meanwhile, though, 40% going. And I think the big thing I want to see is does Janu hit an anti-air Diva Bomb? Right. Because on this map especially, there's a lot of Divas or a lot of Pharah Mercies who will go over the water and they think they're untouchable. And the best way to deal with it is to self-destruct over that water. Because if they're too far out, they can't even use concussion to get away.
Yeah, they can't because they've got nowhere to go. And Janu's thinking about it. You can see he's like, positioning, interesting. It looks like Ding, he wants to make his way in here. There was a hack, and that is going to open it up. Ding, capitalizing on it. Slime will trade him. It's a 1-for-1. And Bumper, he's going primal right now, just trying to put the pressure on, and it is working out wonderfully for the Vancouver Titans. All the kills going their way in this fight, and they're up to 75% on the board now, Hex. It's looking very good here for the Titans. Now it's a question of Shanghai Dragons. Do they have the mental fortitude to turn it around and close it?
Well, Twilight's been in good position here. He's not really getting pressured too badly. He's just kind of hanging out in the corner. And Ding has been a little tentative to try to just dive him and go after him. That's been the difference. We'll see what Shanghai has. They have to win this fight.
Have to win it. So we got the rally used here by Youngjin to kick things off. Luffy hanging on by a thread. Still managed to get the boost off though, so somebody's going around and wailing away. Gansu with the nades over the top in the room that forces the Vancouver Titans out of the open. This is Ding's playground where he's going to get to start just throwing rockets at you. But we need to find a kill, and it is so hard. They are so beefy on the side of the Titans.
DM lives with just a sliver. He's got to get to EMP if they want to bring it back. That's a huge kill on the Twilight. They trade out their Anas, though. EMP desperation comes off, hits 4.
Hits 4, and there's still Ding hanging around. He just wished he had a barrage. That would have been so many dead Titans. Instead, he's still hanging in here. Janu over the top, trying to turn it around, and now you could go for it. Yep, there's only the D-Matrix. Still, no value out of it. Barrage used, Ding trying to be the hero, and it's just not going to be enough.
I mean, you can tell it's desperate when a Pharah just straight up barrage instead of Diva and just hopes that it's on cooldown. It was not completely negated. All right, let's go to the city center to decide Oasis Shanghai. 1 round of control away from punching their ticket to the Stage 3 finals. Titans still holding on.
Still holding. Refuse to say die, Hex. And I mean, Summon Sue with the smiles at the end. That's the attitude you need. Right now, if you're the Vancouver Titans, you're going into this like it's a fresh series. What's the score? Yeah. I don't know. We're just playing here. One map after another.
This can be so difficult for an Ana, especially because what's going to happen is I don't know. Okay, I guess Youngjin's not going to play Doomfist. So you want your Ana on the high ground, but you can't do it because Ding's just going to pressure you off the high ground. So sometimes you put her across from the jump pad on the high ground, over near where the cars are, and then a Doomfist is going to punch you into traffic. So the big question is, where does Twilight set up in an area that he feels safe enough to get his job done?
Because Youngjin has still got the whiff, the flail, right? So I mean, he could still try and knock you out of position, but it's not the same impact as a Mighty Fist.
So they've got Twilight on the low ground here. He's probably just gonna hang out there. He's hunting.
Oh yeah.
Ding is hunting for Twilight.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't find him, just gonna take the consolation prize.
Fantastic start. Now he spotted him too. He knows, hey, you're gonna be setting up over here, bud? I don't think so. There it is. Perfect start here for the Shanghai Dragons. They will get first control. Match point for the Shanghai Dragons. Now it's all about holding, and yep, Ding just gets to chuck rockets out. They're gonna have to earn every step of the way here for the Vancouver Titans.
This entire meta or match, whatever you want to call it, has to just be foreign territory for Vancouver. They are used to dictating the tempo, the pace of play, the style of play, and they've never had a chance to do it. Shanghai is writing the book of this match.
This is a great thing as well for Ding. He's got so much room to work with up there. It's gonna be hard for So to get close quarters. The spread on those shots, Ding can just still kind of float around out there and be like, I'm not really worried about you yet. So he's got his work cut out for him, but they are going for the wrap, and Ding is going to have that barrage, yep, online. So as they try and go for the high ground play here, trying to set Sominsu up. This clever stuff here from Ding using the architecture. Eyes on him though. Looked like there was a go signal here. And we lose Gamsu. Somehow they do get out of whack there on the Dragon's push. Taking the fight to the Titans, a bit disjointed, and now you lose Ding, and this is just not going well here for the Shanghai Dragons. Don't throw anything after that. Youngjin uses rally, okay, fine, fair enough. The rest of it, you need to hold on to for the next fight. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that the time was to go, but perhaps Ding did not get the memo or didn't have the cooldowns to get there, because that's why Gamsu went in.
Yep.
That just a slight hesitation cost them that. Gamsu goes down, then they try to get out. Yeah,
just a bit too far.
That can't happen. That absolutely can't happen there. Is unable to get out. They're gonna have to burn the rest early on, but okay. They've got the combinations that they want. They've got almost every ultimate that they want to use. EMP Barrage, very, very good.
Oh, EMP over the top, here we go. How is this gonna play out? Do you have the follow-up if you're on the Shanghai Dragons? Looks like Twilight, once again, gonna be the first to go down. And there's the barrage over the top. Janu gonna get D-Max. Ding still goes down. Still in this fight, unreal, but Slime never giving up. Trying to bring it back, and now you've got the now you've got the visor in play. Coma is the next, and that's a one fight for the Vancouver Titans.
And they committed a lot to that one too. The EMP did go off. It didn't get everything that they wanted. The follow-up wasn't there. So much so that DM is off of this. DM is going to go to the Widowmaker. This is to pressure down the high ground before that you have to send Ding in there. Because right now you're sending him into a Hornet's Nest of a Soldier 76 and an Ana, and it's not getting enough done.
Oh, that's frustrating. And the stun follow-up as well. Bumper still chilling. He's boosted. He's taking reduced damage. Gets slept. Puts him in the open.
Doesn't
well,
matter.
yep, got the primal, so he's going to be able to tap that and get out of it. Good focus fire here from Shanghai, but this entire time the Vancouver Titans are still generating percentage. 70% and counting now for the Vancouver Titans.
Gamsu's in trouble.
Gamsu cut off from the rest of his team. Isn't going to make things any better. And the Vancouver Titans, they are not going down without a fight, Hex.
Oh.
Well, you got DM as well. He's going to get the chime in. Woo. That Brigida shield is so frustrating right now for DM. It's like, really? Really? Oh, buddy, Bumper!
They had a barrier. They had a barrier now because everybody got low. Gamsu's on the side as well.
You lost Omensu as well, and there's Ding with the follow-up. 2 quick kills here for the Shanghai Dragons. The Vancouver Titans having to back off. They go for the reset, but they're fine with that. They're at 99%. They need one fight on the side of the Titans to take this map and stay alive in the series.
Well, you're going to boost Bumper in here, and he's going to try to find DM in the back line, eliminate that threat, then pick whichever one else you want after that. But you can't let DM just sit back and have a shooting gallery. Widowmaker can take over games.
Especially a Widowmaker of DM's caliber.
Ding is so far forward right now, but I think this has to be a boosted Bumper.
Get in there, cleave him up, get that primal. Oh, Gamsu right at the door. Gets put to sleep, but he should still be in this. Backing out, and he has to use the Bio Nade defensively, Twilight, just to get his teammates topped up again. But there we go, Bumper, boosted, instantly knocked back. Perfect crowd control coming out from Hawksall, or not Hawksall, Youngjin. Good solid work on that side of things. DM gonna be able to get out of harm's way here by the looks of things.
Now.
And Youngjin finds Twilight. Once again, the Ana not surviving the fight. DM is not in this anymore, but Sominsu, what's he getting out of this visor? He needs a target, he's hunting for it, and it's not gonna happen. The Shanghai Dragons X, just like that. We're looking at the fight, there's action everywhere, but the entire time, they were winning the point. The Shanghai Dragons will go to the Stage 3 finals, and Bumper doesn't look like he believes it.
I don't believe it. What was that? You were still in the fight, and it wasn't even over. That's twice mental errors cost Vancouver Titans this series. You look back at Volskaya, you look at this, and maybe they wouldn't have won it anyway. I actually don't think they would have based on how well Shanghai was playing, but that hurts. That is the worst way to lose a series. And Vancouver has looked so great. They've looked dominant, and now they look flabbergasted.
Bumper's face says it all at the end there. That was the picture that says 1,000 words. No doubt about it. But we are going to get a replay of the final moments, kind of put it together there, because it did get chaotic at the end. And you get so focused on the action, you got to remember, it's not about the kills, it's about the point. If you've got the point control, Shanghai Dragons, they nailed it. So going into this fight, they're already at 90%. That's just seconds away from getting the job done.
There's 2 people chase Youngjin there, and then Gamsu comes in. He's knocking people around on the point, and they're just a step off.
Oh my, unreal.
And it had been in overtime for so long, you can't be off it at all. It just burns away.
That's unreal, exactly. You got no time to mess around, but we are going to hand it over to Danny now for an interview with our winners.
Semler and Hex, thank you very much. Everybody, make some noise for Shanghai Dragons and DM. They are going to stage 3 finals. Wow, DM. All right, let's get this clear. Atlanta homestand, you guys lost to Guangzhou Charge twice. And then coming into playoffs, you guys beat NYXL, and then you guys just defeated Vancouver Titans. What the hell is going on? 네. 광저우 팀한테 2번 지고 뉴욕 1번 이기고 오늘 밴쿠버 이기고 뭐예요 이게 뭔가요? 설명 좀 부탁드릴게요.
뭐긴 뭔가요? 그냥 무참하게 그냥 발라버렸죠.
What is it? We just totally annihilated them. That's what we did. I can't fight that. You guys did 4-1. You guys did annihilate them. Alrighty. Stage 3 finals tomorrow. Shanghai Dragons up against either LA Valiants or San Francisco Shock. DM, do you feel like San Francisco Shock or LA Valiants could defeat you guys tomorrow in the finals? 내일 센쇼 아니면 발리언트와 경기가 있을 텐데요. 그 두 팀 중에 상해 팀을 이길 수 있다고 생각을 하세요? 그 두 팀 다?
두 팀 다 이길 수 있다고 생각은 안 하는데 그나마 0.01%의 확률로 샌프란시스코 쇼크 정도?
I don't believe any of those two teams could defeat us, but if I had to choose, San Francisco Shock has about 0.01% chance of beating Shanghai Dragons. Everybody make some noise for DM. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Back to you, casters.
I'm loving how he's saying that, just looking up at the Shock too, like, come at us, boys, we're ready for you. So good.
I tend to agree with him. Just what they just did to the Titans was amazing, and I'd rather play the Shock and who play the similar style of the Titans than the Valiant, who can kind of match that same style.
Exactly right.
Yeah, because we saw Shanghai have trouble against Guangzhou. Perhaps it was they were prepping for Philly, but like when you have that Widow v Widow matchup, it's not as great. And I just want to talk about what happened in this match, because we haven't really seen it yet. And it's just high-level stuff. They made them uncomfortable.
They made them uncomfortable.
They made Vancouver uncomfortable.
I feel like we're seeing a Vancouver who are going through the same experience that the New York Excelsior went through at the end of the last season. Last year, New York Excel, they dominate 3 stages, and then it comes time to adapt, and they're like, oh, wait, hold on. Now we have to start changing how we play, and the game is moving away from us. What's going on? And all of a sudden, they aren't in the top anymore. And I think we're seeing a bit of that here from the Vancouver Titans. You get a bit comfortable, you start to feel the groove, you're dominating, and then what, you have to start adapting?
It was just so much about tempo and dictating pace. And in Vancouver, for the entirety of the Overwatch League, maybe for at least the first 2 stages, they were the ones who went at you. And they were the ones who knocked. And they knocked on Shanghai's door. No one was home. They were in the sky. They were behind you. They were running Widow everywhere else. Gamzu was rolling around like a nut in the hammock. And they just never found their footing. You saw them switch off comps based on just getting rocked on the Ana. They had to go back to their tried and true on Oasis. But all of that plays into the mental boom that just happened of we're on heroes we're not comfortable with. We're getting dictated to. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. Oh, where's the point?
And that's exactly what happened, Hex. They snuck it at the end. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at our Omen by HP player of the match now, the man who stood out the most in this series. And I love it. Excellent. Luffy.
He deserved it.
What a marvelous Ana performance from him today.
We came into this match talking so much about how good Twilight is. An MVP candidate has been carrying this team. And Luffy absolutely rocked this match. He hit dart after dart. But for me, it was all about the nades he was hitting on this team. He was getting everybody anti-healed. That's another fact of them being uncomfortable. You can't push when you're anti-healed. They switched to a composition that had 4 tanks and a Moira. Guess what really crushes that? Anti-healing, because Moira can't do anything. She's useless.
What stood out to me is in those chaotic points, like we had Volskaya, right? It felt like none of his teammates died. He was always in the position to crank out the maximum amount of healing, and no matter what the Vancouver Titans did, nobody on Shanghai was going down. And Luffy was there, like their guardian angel.
I think Luffy died that one time out of position to a Roadhog, but other than that, no one really put pressure on him. I think Slime got to him a couple times, but a breakout performance from Luffy. He deserves player of the match.
Absolutely. Fantastic performance from him in the semifinals, but now we're going to get to see what he's capable of in the finals, Hex, and we're going to get to see the battle of NorCal versus SoCal. That's the second semifinal. Shock Valiant is going to be sick.
That one is going to be very much like this one, a clash of styles. The Valiant have played to their strengths lately. The Shock still full of all the hubris in the world. I'm loving it. I'm going to stick around and watch it. That one is going to be so close. But we have our 8-seed Dragons in the playoff finals.
I know, the parody now is getting
nuts.
I
love it.
But we're not done yet, guys. That was our first semifinal of the day. Now we get NorCal versus SoCal in the second semifinal. Matt, Mr. X is already dabbing. He's so excited. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll get right into the action.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.